All right, let's go 10 minutes to the top phone troll. We know that the phone system has been down because of the storms. It's back up, so you can get in now. Greg's got phones. YouTube just returned, so that's good. The radio network has returned. That's good. TuneIn never left. So we should be back. All the different options to catch the show live should be back available to you again. Remember that YouTube got up the latest, so that will affect your daily archive. It won't be as long as normal. You only get a couple of hours of the show today on the archive. And Blaze TV, you should still get your hour. So that kind of updates you. 30 seconds a pop. At the end of 30 seconds, the buzzer sounds. Your time on the program comes to a close. Another person gets an opportunity. No meaningless shout-outs. No shameless plugs. All those will get the instant buzzer. Comments, questions, and bringing information to the table. That's where you want to be. HelixSleep.com/Bubba. The only thing better than sleeping on a mattress that was not customized for you is to sleep on one that is. HelixSleep.com/Bubba, a great Black Friday sale going on. You can save 25% off a mattress that will be customized just for you. Greg and Lisa Burgess got one. They love it. They're still sleeping on it as we speak. And the reason why it is wonderful, why? Well, it's customized. Meaning they want to know how you sleep, back, side, stomach. That matters. They also want to know how firm do you like the mattress? You want it soft? Do you want it medium? Do you want it to be super firm? They take that into account. Are you someone that's big and tall? They're ringing now. Are you someone? Is this for a child? Whatever the case may be. So if you want to find out how to customize a mattress just for you, go to HelixSleep.com/Bubba. That's HelixSleep.com/Bubba, or go to RickandBubba.com. You'll find it there right under the sponsors button. To the phones we go. We get started with Matt. Matt is looks like calling out of Sweet Home, Alabama. And Matt, welcome to Rick and Bubba. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Got a question for you. I drive 700 miles a day delivering tires. I want to start Field of Greens. Am I going to have to worry about any extra stops when I start this?
Let me tell you what you're going to find early on, because it does really go and help to make your digestive system healthier as well. I've seen that benefit. You will probably experience tremendous gas in the beginning, but as far as the stops, no.
All good. I'm by myself.
Yeah. You will work through a gas adjustment, and that's just it's cleaning everything up and trying to make things healthier. And you will. There's a price to pay for that. Let's go to
think about all the fun you can have.
Robert, welcome to Rick and Bubba. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
Do you remember the impressionist and comedian Frank Caliendo?
Yeah.
He did a big George Bush impression. Well, whenever I was listening to that Gobble Gobble song, all I could think of to make it better was, instead of the girl singing, if you just put in Frank Caliendo saying Gobble Gobble as George Bush's voice. I think that might actually make the song a lot better.
I agree with you. I think that would be great.
It's got potential.
It really does. Yep. Piedmont, Alabama. Jerry checking in. Jerry, 30 seconds. Go.
Good morning, guys. Listen, y'all got to get with me on this. That woman is singing about food, beer, football, and then there at the end, she takes it down and gets real sexy with that whispering. Come on, guys.
Well, I will say, I'm going to say this like I'm saying to America, and I'm getting the emails of those of you that are struggling. 3 minutes and 3 seconds, I'll never get back. Why? Some emails just simply 3 whys. Why?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we voted on this just like we vote for president.
Mm-hmm.
And
you have to live with the results.
And Gobble Gobble got the most votes. If y'all want to take Gobble Gobble away, you're going to have to mount some sort of campaign.
There ought to be some term limits.
Right. That's good. Chris, welcome to Rick and Bubba. Go ahead, 30 seconds.
I'm way too empathetic to listen to this song. I was embarrassed for her the whole time. It was hard for me to drive at one point. I was cringing so hard. And about a minute in, I was just yelling, God, please stop.
Oh, okay.
I've scheduled a therapy appointment today for 3:30 to figure out why it elicited the reaction it did for me. But I don't know how everybody else felt. But
yeah, Speedy,
I'll leave it there.
Did you get past secondhand embarrassment with this because it's been around so long?
I did.
What about the first time you heard it?
There was a little there because
Yeah.
she was serious about it. And I just want to say this: most of the time, the only people they're going to call are the ones that say they don't like it. The ones that like it, just moving on with their day, just laughing, getting out of the car.
They wait till the boat comes in. Then they let it shine.
Yeah. So most stuff you're going to hear, don't let it get you down.
Right.
It's going to be I didn't like it, but that's okay.
Brandon in Alabama. Brandon, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
So, what do y'all think is going to happen in the Iron Bowl and the SEC championship for Alabama?
I think Alabama will beat Auburn. Not a big step out there. I do think that people might be surprised that Auburn looks a little better than they did against New Mexico State, but it won't be enough. They're just not good enough to beat Alabama right now.
Rick, you would have to look better than you did against New Mexico State if you even dressed out.
Right, and I think there'll be a lesson learned there. And I do think in the SEC championship game, it's all going to come down to this. If Georgia can find a way to get 4 where he cannot beat them with his legs and has to throw, then Georgia will beat them. If they can't handle him running, I think it's anybody's game.
Yeah, that's a good breakdown. I like that.
Yeah. We continue. Let's go to Allen in Alabama. Allen, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Hey, you know how you were talking about your wives getting you a while ago? It made me think, well, might get me sometimes. I'll say, hon, I hate to tell you this, but I think you have wife's disease. Yeah. And then when she gets me a little more, I'll say, I think it's inoperable, too. I do it, and then she laughs about it.
Okay. Did he say wife's disease?
I thought that's what he said.
At one time, I thought he said, when my wife's mad at me, I claim she has lice. And I was like, I don't think that's the way to go.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't either, especially if he has long hair.
Let's go to Kyle in Birmingham. Kyle, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Hey, fellas, I don't know why that song gets so much hate. You know, it gets right to the point. It's catchy. It's a great song, you know?
Thank you, Kyle. And who did you vote for in the election?
I'm Trump all the way, but that's a great song. All right.
Okay, good. Well,
is he related to her, you think?
Probably. Johnny in Alabama. Johnny, go ahead.
Hey, have y'all heard about the potential Deion Sanders scandal that just came out?
No.
Well, apparently some news broke out that he had slept with one of his players' moms. Sounds like it was his quarterback.
Okay, that's terrible. Terrible. Seth, welcome to Ricky Bubba. Go ahead.
Hello, Todd.
Hello, Todd.
I was just curious if y'all had heard from the greatest Alabama fan, Dickie, if he had set up camp already or not.
Already located down at the ugliest village on the desert. Set up, ready to go. Alabama will be playing, saving ourselves for the SEC championship. We'll be fielding against Auburn, our second and third team. A couple of folks that we're needing to get some playing time. No need to waste the first stringers coming up this Saturday. But we're already set up down at the ugliest place on the desert, ready to go, a road tide. You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You know? Why get a foolish injury when you got this SEC championship coming up? So, because you're going either way.
Yeah, it's really you're kind of in a bad situation sometimes. Well, you got a lot more to lose than win.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a thought. Well, if you get in the bind, then you run first team out there.
Yeah.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Just born we
nuts. I'm still laughing at Black Tuesday.
No.
Am I wrong?
I really don't
saw
remember.
you contemplating. Is that not it?
I love it. I'll know. Ask Adler. Adler.
That's not it.
What was that, Adler? Do you remember?
I think it was just like a really bad day for me or something like that. I truly don't remember.
I really believe I'm right.
No. Okay, buddy.
I saw what's so funny before you said it. I saw you thinking about it. You went ahead and said, what the heck?
No, I almost didn't say it.
He's got that
And it was
coffee cup.
August, Rick. It was August. I went with it.
Yeah, well, yeah. You undoubtedly it's uncontrollable in August. I want to know what we did in 2017. We did nothing in August.
Yeah, I know. Must have been a bad year.
What happened to us that year?
You talking about anything goes August?
I-10 August.
I-10.
Anything goes August.
Yeah. So in August, and we're only about halfway, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, we got
a little more than
good
halfway.
week and a
What is
half.
the day?
21st.
21st? Wow.
Wow.
We're in the
flew by.
20s now.
Yeah, I know. Keep thinking about my house being sold. We need to get that done.
Hey. Is that ever going to happen?
Yeah, I hope.
What will happen first? Okay, here's what I'd like
I think
to
I'm going to do a live remote from their house, if you don't mind, during the show.
Okay.
Coming up.
Well, here's the thing.
Just invite people to come
Two
on by.
things are
have to
happening,
do.
and the show always helps because we've talked about both on the show. So now all things are even because they both have been discussed on the show, which has spawned more response because it just does.
Yeah.
So now the contest is this. You know, Helmsy, I know you love the what ifs. This is not really a what if, but this is which one do you think will happen first?
Would you rather?
No, it's not a would you rather. It's really which one will happen first.
All right.
Bubba gets his AT&T problem resolved, or Speedy's house sales.
Oh, both of those are up in the air. Speedy, you came out the gate really quick. I thought, man, this thing will be wrapped
I
up in
did
2
too.
weeks.
Oh, yeah. There was a contract on it quick. It's just that old contingency. Dang it. But I don't understand. I'm scratching my little bald head on. They got a wonderful house. It is nice in a prime location at a great price. By the way, just reduced here within the last 4 or 5 days.
There you go. Yeah.
And so if we
That's what
sell
I was
that puppy, you can go to my Twitter account. I think I tweeted it out last week.
Yeah, you did.
You see a location of the
You did.
house and everything.
Here's your America. Bubba, here's another one, and this could be, you mean to tell me, this could lead to a confused American right here. Heritage Foundation chief economist Steve Moore says he is reacting to the high numbers of New Yorkers who are fleeing to Florida because of, wait for it, because of the incredibly high state taxes.
Yep.
There in New York. So, Greg?
Wait a minute.
Oh, he's looking around.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me if you raise the taxes, the kingdom come, the people will get the hell out? What? They won't just take it and keep paying them?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That could be that.
Wait a minute.
That's the name of the series.
Yeah.
Wait a
Oh,
minute.
wait a minute.
It says this is the biggest demographic story of our country. He said this could be the biggest economic story because we have, he said he's calling it the 4 states of the apocalypse.
These are the 4 states who are losing high-dollar residents at an alarming rate: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Illinois.
They have the most residents, as Bubba said, fleeing over high taxes and huge budget problems, and they are leaving for Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and North Carolina because they're going to save on taxes.
Now, Rick, he goes on to note, and listen to this, you can buy a house with the money that you save on income taxes.
Right. Well, you remember this when my oldest son started getting into the movie business and TV and all this stuff that he's doing, and Michael Papa John, who had been kind of like a mentor to him, said, "Look, don't come to California. We're all leaving. I mean, you won't be able to afford anything out here. The price is too high." So now Atlanta has become the hub of a lot of what used to be L.A. and Hollywood because of taxes.
Did you see other heightened tax obligations are kicking in as well? As of July 1, a 3-decades-old mansion tax in New York State is being boosted in New York City to help pay for improvements to the city's creaky subway system. So you pay, if you survive all the other taxes, okay, and you got your property taxes, and you got your state, and you've got your federal, and all that, and the gas taxes, and everything you pay, and the sales taxes. And then if you happen to have enough left over, and you happen to have what they consider a mansion, now gosh only knows what qualifies as a mansion in New York.
Right.
You got another tax on that.
Well, here's one of the things you got to watch out for, though. Here's something that could be problematic.
Can I tell you
Yeah, go
this
ahead,
right
finish
here?
that, yeah.
As we had talked about before, they talk about these millionaire tax. Well, if you're a millionaire, we're going to charge you at a higher rate. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Pay your fair share. Well, what the millionaires do is they take their money and they leave, okay? New Jersey is reporting, Rick, a 35% decline in income tax revenue for 2018. Okay, that's all you got to focus on. In 2018, New Jersey's budgets they're going to drop 35% because they tried to tax higher incomes at a higher level. It wasn't good enough they were getting that money.
Right.
They wanted more of it. So you know what they got? Less of it.
That's right.
And we've talked about that. What are these people? I swear, I think the people who run our country have never run a lemonade stand. They don't have a clue. Most of them are
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Pass the gravy, please.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
We're back. A brand new hour of the Rick and Bubba Show beginning now, and thank you for spending some time with us. We got a short week coming up this week on Thanksgiving Day, a Rick and Bubba replay. Everybody off on Friday, a Best of Rick and Bubba Show. Helmsy will host that, Lord willing, everybody back on Monday. So as we start the hour, Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsley, Eddie Van Adler, all here. Bill Bubba Bussy is in the house. Welcome back, Bubsy.
glad to be
Bubsy.
here. And thank all of you for joining us at the little party we call Rick and Bubba.
Bubba, old friend Charles Barkley, back with us to start the hour. Charles, welcome back to Rick and Bubba.
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing?
How
are you?
I'm good.
It's a big week in Alabama. It's a big week.
Charles, what do you think about Alabama just playing the second team so they don't get any kind of injuries against Auburn and preparing for the SEC championship? Do you think they could still win?
Why don't y'all try that? Why don't y'all try that? Okay. I'll endorse that. I don't like endorsing things. Y'all play. Don't even bring your first string. Don't even bring. Just start with your bench warmers and the walk-ons, and come down to the plains and see how we kick y'all ass.
Charles, I know that everybody's reeling off the New Mexico State loss. That one,
Charles, what happened?
That was a very disappointing game. Not the fact that we lost, the fact that we came out so flat. Mm-hmm. Because you think about this, we had won 2 games in a row. We were playing great. The Iron Bowl was coming up next week. Can you imagine? You could we can go into the Iron Bowl with a 3-game winning streak. But watching that game, we came out flat. And the thing that bothered me the most, to be honest, guys, they beat us. Sometimes every now and then, a team will get lucky and win in the last quarter when you play on a team you're supposed to beat. But they outplayed us the entire game. That was the thing that was frustrating and disappointing to me.
Yeah, and it was a little bit shocking. Like you say, you're going to have teams sometimes that rise up and they're underdogs and they find a way to win it. We've seen that over and over again. But boy, that didn't. I didn't see the game, but it didn't feel that way at all. And
was dominated start to finish, and Charles got a nice little paycheck for doing it, $1.8 million. Not a bad day for them.
Well, if you're going to go to a man's house and kick his ass, you might as well get $2 million.
You're terrible. So we do need to talk about Auburn and Alabama fans at times can come together and try to do good things, and even when you do that, though, you still have to separate them, which kind of leads us to the Kerry and Gary challenge. And let's face it, we wish that this challenge didn't exist, and we wish that Gary and Kerry were not in the battle that they are in with ALS. We're talking about Gary Godfrey, former basketball player from Auburn, and Kerry Good, of course, running back at Alabama. And, I actually have a friend, Charles, that just was diagnosed recently with ALS as well, and he's trying to go out and, hope for there to be some sort of advancement on cures or quality of life. And, we do need to continue this research because it's starting to show up more and more. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this.
Well, number one, I want to thank Kerry and Gary for opening up, coming public, and trying to do some good with a really awful situation.
Yeah.
Number one, bless your friend too.
Yeah.
Kerry and Gary, man, they started this a couple years ago. I don't know Kerry that well, but I've known Gary. Gary was my teammate in college. He's one of my favorite people in the world. Him and his wife, Carol. he is probably, I will admit, guys, he's probably one of the most annoying people I've ever met in my life. And what I mean by that is he's always in a good mood.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, yo, man, he's like, no, make this your best day. He finishes all his texts with make this your best day. And he said the exact same thing all these years. And every time I'm around him, he makes me want to be a better person. You know, he makes me like, Charles, don't complain because your cable's not working.
Oh, yeah.
Don't complain because it's raining and you can't go play golf. This dude has battled this thing, him and his wife, Carol, and they're just trying to do a good work and be really positive. I know they're doing a lot of stuff for ALS in Alabama. You know, looking at some of the numbers, this thing costs about $250,000 a year for care, for full-time care, $250,000 a year. And the thing that sucks the most about this disease, you don't have any idea how long you're going to live. So you're going to need that type of money every year. And Carrie and Gary wanted me to tell everybody, all the money that's raised during this challenge doesn't go to them.
Right.
It goes to other people only in the state of Alabama, but the money does not go to Carrie and Gary. They got a great support staff. But man, I just want to thank those guys for having this every year. I'm a small part of it. You know, Alabama, even though they got the most annoying fans in the world, Auburn fans, you know how much I love Auburn. Auburn, we love our school. It's the best thing in the world. I cannot wait to get to the Iron Bowl this weekend. I'm really looking forward to going back down to Auburn. But I just want to tell everybody, come out there and support this cause, support this challenge. You know, the last time we really came together like this was during the tornadoes in Tuscaloosa.
Right.
And we raised a ton of money, had some great camaraderie. Hey, Alabama's a great school. You guys know what I feel about Coach Saban. He's the greatest coach ever. Give a shout out to my boy Josh Maxson down at Tuscaloosa, who babysits me if I need anything Alabama related. And shout out to my boy Jacob down at Auburn, who babysits me all weekend. Jacob, Chuck is coming. He's gonna be full off of deep fried turkey. He's gonna be ready for some fun this weekend. But I'm really looking forward to the game like I do every year. But please, let's all try to raise as much money as possible with this challenge.
If you go to rickandbubba.com, we have it in show notes today, and it's easy to follow. We have the link for you. It is a way for Auburn, Alabama fans to come together, and of course, you know, everything has to be a competition with Auburn, Alabama, and we're trying to raise the most money. You can do that even in Gary's name. Again, it's not for Gary, or in Carrie's name. It's not for Carrie. It's for the ongoing research, but it will stay in the home state of Alabama for those like, you know, our friend Jordy Henson on the ongoing research. And we are starting to see some experimental drugs that are showing some promise on the quality of life and extending quality of life. And we hope one day, by the grace of God, that this is not a disease that when you hear you've got it, that there's nothing anybody can do for you. We're starting to see some progress, but you know, as Charles just pointed out, it takes a tremendous amount of money just for the ongoing care and the continued research. So Auburn and Alabama fans, and we're going to talk to Cornelius Bennett as well concerning Kerry Good, go to rickandbubba.com under show notes today. That link is there, and please participate, and let's show out. Charles Barkley is our guest. We'll come back. We'll talk more with Charles about other topics, including ongoing, reminding you about this, of course. But we want to talk to Charles, too, about all that's going on in the world of sports and his own life, which is always entertaining, if nothing else.
Yeah, he's got that little TV show going.
Yeah.
I think they're going to make it.
I think this Inside the NBA thing is going to work out for him. We'll come back. We'll talk
and
more.
Auburn basketball, which is a good topic.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that next.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Are professional politicians, they're career politicians. They have no idea how you make a bottom line and have to make it happen every day. They're clueless.
Rick and Bubba.
There's old Tom Petty. He wrote that one later in his career. That's a doozy. That may hold up with all the big ones right there. I would not have known about that Tom Petty song if I had not seen the Tom Petty special. And he was singing. I'm like, what is this? Never heard that before. So we got Moultrie coming in. Always a little anxiety about what kind of question he's dug up. I've seen a bunch of drawings and pictures and diagrams, and he's over there claiming you wouldn't believe how I had to search for today's. And when you hear that, it just brings just a little angst. So
just a little bit.
So that'll be happening. We'll get you ready for the great outdoors. So that's coming up next segment. So we'll jump right into that.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's got all kind of goodies going on today. I mean, he's pumped. This is a fun time of year, Rick. If you're an outdoorsman, I mean, you're right on the cusp of being ready for hunting season.
Yep.
You got to make those preparations. People are getting fields ready. They're making their plans. They're bush hogging. They're, getting all their T's crossed and I's dotted, getting ready for hunting season.
I mean, if you mean business.
That's right. If you're serious about it, in the meantime of that, you have dove season coming up and all that too. So there's a lot going on right now out in the great outdoors.
So
I saw a lot of deer this morning too.
Mm-hmm.
Good gracious, I saw a lot of them coming to work.
Yeah.
I mean, they were out partying.
I had that thing happen. Mine was actually yesterday morning, but I had that thing happen where they're in the road, and I know what they're going to do. The two of them are going to dart to the left, and one's going to dart to the right. But then the one who darted to the right when you get up there, is going to run back to the left. And so you have to know, if you learn them, you'll kind of see how they go. Now if you're going real fast, you don't have time to think of that. But I was just creeping out of the neighborhood, and sure enough, that's what happened. The one who went right, she was like, "Wait a minute, I'm not in the group anymore." So she flew back across right in front of me, getting back over there to the left. So anyway, fun time of year prepping. Football is it's almost here. Excitement about that as we have week 0 coming up this weekend in college football, which is bizarre, but I'll take it.
Week 0. That just sounds funny, doesn't it?
High schools are getting started in different states and all kinds of stuff going on.
Is ours starting this Friday or next Friday?
I don't know. See, I'm not in that world anymore.
Yeah.
So there was a time I would be able to answer that for you so easy. Yeah. I know Greg's
such freedom.
I know Greg's son coaches in Georgia, and they definitely start this week. I do not know about our area. Probably because this would be Expo weekend if we were having the Expo this year, and usually Expo weekend is the first Friday of high school because I never could come on Fridays.
It's not week 0 there. It's actually week 1.
Week 1,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, the game will last 4 hours because of the heat timeouts.
Yes.
Yep. But anyway, and again, I'd just like to throw out again to all the different organizations, heat timeouts are certainly needed right now. But when the season goes on in, and if, say, you have a night that's cool, don't take them. They're heat timeouts. I mean, if the temperature doesn't warrant a heat timeout, you don't just do it because we put it on the calendar. If you show up and at kickoff it's 65, 70 degrees, there's no need for one. So don't just keep doing them even when it's not hot. I've never understood that. We're taking a timeout for something that doesn't exist tonight. That's just weird to me. Yeah. It'd be like saying that we're taking a rain timeout when it's not raining.
Well, when it comes to the kiddos, I guess you're always going to miss to the safe side, and we're in an era now where it's so exaggerated.
Oh, I got you, but I mean, but temperature is a truth, isn't it? It's not. How do you mess up not taking a timeout if it wasn't hot enough for anyone to need it?
Well, you pointed out it's been so hot lately during football season.
Oh yeah, now it's not that. This is not a conversation for right now.
No,
of course, we didn't have them when we played in the heat, but I mean, it's but I understand the whole deal. I live in a different world now.
Different world, Rick. You don't have to drink water off the grass.
I keep trying, but people keep trying to convince me it's better, but I. I see the product we're churning out. I'm not sure that's the case. 15 minutes past. We'll jump right in with Moultrie right after this.
Rick and Bubba.
All right, so here we go. Time to match Moultrie. There's a certain angst I get during this.
Rick, I feel exactly like how I feel before I go on a major.
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba. Pass the gravy, please.
All right, we're back. The Rick and Bubba Show. Charles Barkley, our guest. We have one more segment with Charles. The Carrie and Gary Challenge for ALS is underway for the Iron Bowl. It's the second year involving Gary Godfrey from Auburn and Kerry Good from Alabama. And, of course, it's a chance for you to say, when it came to raising money for ALS, my team won. And you can follow along with the donations and how they're going for Auburn and Alabama by going to the link we have at rickandbubba.com. There's a live scoreboard daily letting you know how each fan base is doing. And, of course, this time it's for a great cause no matter what team you pull for. So Charles Barkley with us for another segment. Charles, Bubba wants to talk a little basketball.
Yeah, Auburn basketball. You have to be fired up with the way that we're heading into that season. Looks like we got a lot of potential.
Yeah, I watched them play a couple times last week. They blew the game against Baylor. They should have won that game. But I was really impressed the 2 games up in New York last week where they won the tournament. They played very well. You know, when you play teams that you're better than, you're supposed to beat them pretty good. So I was really impressed. And I've said this 100 times. We ain't never going to get out-coached. Our coach is one of the best X and O coaches I've ever seen, and he's going to do a fantastic job. I'm really looking forward to them getting in the SEC play because, man, the SEC is a tough conference. I think they will go to the tournament, and then it's all about matchups once you get to the tournament. But I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to watching them play in person.
Charles, on that note, when you think about SEC basketball now, it's got to be as good as it's ever been, or maybe the best it has been as far as from top to bottom.
I think. So,
because you know, we were talking with Kentucky fans, and we always make the joke about, you know, their football team begins to fade when basketball starts, and of course, and then
midnight madness, man, football falls off.
And then one of the Kentucky football sports fans says, "Well, look, our basketball program, we're starting to grumble about it." So what's going on there?
Yeah, you know, Calipari, you know, he doesn't, you know, I love John. He's a good dude and a hell of a coach, but, you know, it's been a long time since they won that championship with Anthony Davis. I mean, that's probably, I can't even remember, probably double-digit years since they won the championship. And, you know, Kentucky, they're like Alabama fans. They think it's a birthright that they play for the championship every year. And they're both a pain, but that's just the way it is when you're an iconic program. And listen, I'm looking forward to the SEC. You know, Coach Odom, he's done a hell of a job down in Tuscaloosa. You know, that kid he had last year, I thought he was the best college basketball player I've seen all year, not counting Victor Wembanyama because he was obviously playing in France. But I tell you, Coach Oates got a great program going down in Alabama. But listen, I love our coach. I love our coaching staff. And every year they pick us like at the bottom of the SEC, which is stupid. They should know we're gonna be better than that.
Well, Charles, you don't have to get angry about it. I mean, your face got all scowled.
I'm angry. Hey, first of all, I'm angry at you two guys because there's never a good reason to get up early in the morning.
So we agree.
That's how much I love you guys.
You do love us.
I do love you guys. We've been together 100 years, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And number one, you guys have been so successful. And I'm proud of both of you because you're both good dudes. But to be on radio and TV like you really are now, you have to be really talented and successful. I mean, how many years you guys been doing this?
January will be 30th birthday. We just completed 30 years.
Can you imagine having a job? You haven't pissed anybody off in 30 years, and you get to keep your job and you have fun. You can't beat that, can you?
Well, we've kept our job.
Yeah.
I think that's
part of what you
line.
said is true. The other part maybe not. Because
but to have
you're right. Not get run off.
Yeah. Because listen, we all piss people off in 30 years. Everybody does. But you're doing something right to still be here. And hey, do it as long as you want to, man, because hey, I always tell people the same thing about my job. It beats working for a living.
It does. You know, and you taught us years ago, I think after our first contract that looked like we were headed in the right direction, you taught us that day to learn a small word called no. And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, I think that day you had fired like half your family.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. People ask you for money, first of all. I have 10 people asking me for money every single day. It drives me crazy. It actually makes me it kind of makes me sick a little bit because you can't take people. I got like 3 cell phones. I got a dummy phone, I got a jackass line, and I got my private cell. I mean, I got like 3 phones. I like, my friend's like, yo, man, like the girl who runs my life, Christy, has a phone. She said, I can't believe how many people ask you for money. And my bodyguard, James, who's a cop for 35 years, he says, man, because they don't answer the phone, they just read the messages. He said, man, people ask you for money every single day. That's why you think I gave you the dummy line. Because I don't want them calling me every day because I get sick or tired of feeling like, no, man, I'm not an ATM. I'm not a bank. And so that drives me crazy. But you got to learn the magic word, no.
Well, what about the ongoing?
Wait a minute, which number do we have?
Yeah, which number do we have?
Hey, am I on the show?
Okay, yeah, right, yeah. That explains.
Yes, so you got the real number.
That explains why the only response I've ever gotten from you on the text is no. But the
it's James texting us back.
But inside the NBA, are you just going to let Shaq throw you around? I mean, we were talking about a moment ago. Does Shaq ever go into a room where he's not the biggest human in the room ever?
First of all, if you ever met Shaq, he's the biggest human being in the history of civilization. He is humongous. And to answer your question, I'm not fighting that big old dude. Hey, if we ever get to fight, it won't be fair. Whatever I can get my hand on, like a fire extinguisher, a baseball bat, a skillet.
Right.
If we ever fight, I'm just gonna grab the closest thing to me because he's the biggest person you ever gonna meet when you meet him.
He's still mad about you knocking him into the Christmas tree that year.
Well, listen, he's always mad about something because he's so petty. I call him Richard Petty because he can't give another person a compliment. Like he compares every basketball player to himself, which is so stupid because he's one of the best to ever do it. But I told him that doesn't mean everybody else sucks. He thinks that if we give anybody else a compliment, it's an insult to his legacy. I'm like, yo, man, relax. Stop being petty. I call him Richard Petty. I call him Petty White. I call him a bunch of petty names because he is so petty about giving people compliments.
Hey, add Tom Petty. That's another one.
Tom Petty. Oh yeah. Man, he's a good dude though, but man, he cannot give another person a compliment about basketball.
Charles, how much, like when you guys go to eat somewhere, how much does he eat? I mean, he's got to eat a lot to keep that body moving.
Well, no, he's one of those people who eat all the time.
Nonstop.
You know how that thing about the more meals you eat, the more it's going to keep your body burning? Which, first of all, it doesn't work because he's big as hell. But he's one of those people who just eat constantly. He eats small meals constantly. Like when I go to work, we go in around 6 because we go on at 7. He's eating at 6. He's eating at 7:30. He's eating at 9:30. He's eating at 11:30. Because we get off about 2 in the morning. We're on television from 7 to 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And he eats constantly the whole time.
So it's like working with Bubba.
Wait a minute. I like that diet.
You just described every show I've done. Well, anyway, enjoy Thanksgiving. I know. Do you just give up on Thanksgiving and just say, "Look, I'm not gonna worry about what I eat this time. I'll get back on the good. I'll get back on my discipline Monday."
Well, so there's a restaurant in Phoenix called Baby K's. First of all, I order 2 deep fried turkeys every year. Guys, let me tell y'all something. If y'all haven't had a deep fried turkey, y'all don't know what y'all missing.
Oh, you're right. You talking to the choir now.
Hey, no, I started, I think it's my 19th year. I was at this one of my favorite places in Arizona. They started doing turkeys. And I ordered 2. And it's so funny, for like 19 straight years, I met the exact same people. You pick it up around between 1 and 2, but we all show up around noon to start drinking.
Oh, Charles.
What do you mean?
You don't want people. I mean, you just need to eat the turkey. All right.
No. We got to drink, brother. We got to drink. But
Charles, we got to go.
Hey,
we got to go.
Guys, what's really crazy?
We got to go.
Hang on.
We ain't done that in a while.
We're gonna have to punish Moultrie.
Oh, yeah.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm putting his rear end on the wheel.
I'll take the red roses.
Classic.
Today, I think.
You're a classic. All right, I'll put you on hold, and you'll tell us where you want those sent. Let's go to Gulf Shores. Sunny 105. Chase is standing by. Hey, Chase.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, what do you say to Moultrie?
Wow, what a big, beautiful wheel.
Yeah. Isn't it lovely? All right, here we go. Isn't it? All right, let's see what we got here for Chase.
Bubba, give him a milkweed.
Milkweed! Oh! Flower!
He
got locked up. Couldn't make the decision.
I about broke my finger.
Don't hurt yourself, Rick.
I've never seen the wheel do that.
I'm so sorry, Chase. It
looked like it had backspin on it.
Speedy got 2 blocked.
I did.
All right, Chase.
My finger got caught in it.
It's 2 dozen multicolored roses for you. All right.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
And all this, the check-ins, how's everything going? They've started classes, this. Undoubtedly, in Starkville, sadly, they had a main water main that went out. So Big Love and his roommates had no water in their apartment. And so they were saying that they got the alert. It may be a full day before they get water back again. So the questions were being asked about all of that, and so I was talking about he made the point with his brother his brother who is at Auburn. He makes the point that now they can't shower, to which his brother puts on the group text, "Showering in college is dumb anyway." And then he puts underneath it, "Hey Brooks, it's college."
Yeah.
So anyway, he said, "I've done nothing but play basketball since I've gotten here, and it's been perfect."
That's so good.
So anyway, all right. So now from that, so hopefully they'll get that worked out. I guess a lot
cartridges, tactical gear, high-powered rifle, all were seized. The stockpile of weapons that he had, he would have been able to carry out a mass shooting, somewhat similar to what happened in Las Vegas. He has been charged with manufacturing and distributing assault weapons, possession of an assault weapon, and making a criminal threat. He's currently being held on a $500,000 bond.
So we stopped that one.
Now,
That's good.
he's a cook.
Yes.
He's a cook at the hotel.
But was he just, like you say, based on what you said, was he just mad about something at work? Or?
We really don't know. They have quite a display of all of his stuff here, but I mean, this guy, you're talking about Casey Roback. I mean, good night. You're talking about a cook
Bubba,
with all of his weapons.
Yeah,
there. Goodness gracious.
but at least that cook was trying to do some good.
Yeah, he was on the good side. Yeah.
Well, now we move over to Memphis. A smiling trucker who was arrested just days before he planned. 35 minutes past the hour. Rick and Bubba, we're back. All right, so BuyRaycon.com/Bubba. I'm telling you guys, these earbuds are flying out of the Rick and Bubba website there. If you just click on
It's like they got wings.
It's like they have wings. BuyRaycon.com/Bubba. Never too early. Go ahead and get the Christmas shopping done. Black Friday's coming up. How about if you're sitting there on Black Friday just kind of chilling and enjoying a day off if you get it, but not having to worry about shopping, because you have taken care not only of Black Friday, but Cyber Monday all in one move.
There you go.
By going to buyraycon.com/Bubba. One of the things that ought to get your attention right out of the gate, if you're thinking what are you talking about? Well, first of all, Raycon earbuds are about half the price of the other premium audio brands, and I'm saying premium audio. Okay, so you're not substituting quality. About half the price, and then we're getting you additional savings by going to buyraycon.com/Bubba. On top of the fact they're about half the price of the others. So now they've kind of gotten into home and power tech, Bubba. I don't know if you've been picking up on this. They got a faucet filter, a Magic 180 charging cable. Hello. BuyRaycon.com/Bubba is known for delivering high quality and thoughtful features at about half the price of the others. But right now, you can even take advantage of buy now, pay later options. Easy and free return guarantee. Hurry now and go to BuyRaycon.com/Bubba. Listen to me. Get up to 50% off site-wide. Up to 50% off. Plus, there's for a limited time, you can bundle some of the products and really save more. So this is only available through Cyber Monday. So these deals I'm telling you about right now, they're available right now, but they won't be available after Monday. So make your move right now to buyraycon.com/Bubba or go to rickandbubba.com and check the sponsors button. Thank you, Charles Barkley. I hate he got caught on the hard break there at the bottom.
Oh, I know.
And that was on me. I shouldn't have asked him about Thanksgiving with so little time on the clock, because apparently he had a lot to say about Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and
sounds like he has a really big blowout.
Yeah, whatever. And so he hit the hard break there, and I was like, Charles, we have to go.
Yeah, he did send back, no problem, tell the guys happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, and he was, it sounded like that, he was going to get into some kind of thing where he turns into getting his 2 fried turkeys into some kind of cocktail party. Of some kind.
It sounds like they have a real blowout, don't they?
Turns into a party.
By the way, him talking about Shaq owned me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a big man.
Shaq is so petty. I call him Richard Petty. Just because we compliment someone is not an indictment on his legacy. By the way, I asked this question, and everybody's come to the same answer. Is there ever a time, is the percentage 0, that Shaq walks into any room and isn't the biggest man in the room?
Woo.
I don't think so.
Does it ever happen? Does anybody go, now there's a guy in here bigger than you? Because I'm not talking about taller. I'm talking about the whole presentation.
There may, on occasion, be somebody who's slightly taller, but I don't think
he's strong.
Big. He's just a big man.
These strongman contests worldwide, where they, from all over the world, and
you're going strongman contest.
Well, you seen some of those guys.
But think about this. They're not 7'1".
You asked.
I'm just
they're not 7'1".
Trying to imagine. I can't imagine anything.
We had this back when we were doing the sports R's.
Oh.
We had on, and God rest his soul. I believe he passed away. We had Mark Eaton on. He's a former NBA guy. He was 7'4". Now he wasn't as wide and big as Shaq, so I think
he wasn't
maybe your comment is still right. Even the 7'4" guy is not as big as Shaq.
Because he's not as big. He's taller, but he's not bigger.
First time I'd ever been by somebody over 7 feet tall.
Never mind.
They didn't look real.
I thought his head was
it's a game changer.
Drop ceiling.
I believe that Shaq,
he got killed on a bike wreck, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
That's a big.
I think Shaq could be part of the offspring of the Nephilim.
I saw Ralph Sampson come into a room when I worked at the TV station, and he had to duck, Rick, like our door frame here. I mean, it was like he had to do a serious duck to get into the room. But he still was not as big and wide and built.
No.
And of course Shaq was legendary playing basketball, but you'd love to see him as a tight end or something, just to see what that would look like out on the field,
I love that, Bubba.
That'd be something. I like when Charles describes that one day he went to football practice. It's the worst day of his life.
Play for one day. All right, so President Biden, 81 now. Have you seen the picture of his birthday cake?
Boy, Rick, you're talking about a flame.
It looks like somebody has set a bonfire.
Good night.
I mean, should we have the president that close to fire?
Yeah.
That's a lot of fire.
That's a lot of fire.
One person had described it as a portal to hell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Look at that.
I mean,
That's good.
They put 81 candles on there, I guess.
You know who they said lit the candles? Taylor Swift.
All right.
All right.
From Brazil. All right, so now, Speedy, sorry. You thought that's all we were going to do today concerning Biden. You know the famous I'm going to pardon the turkey thing, which we found out the history behind that was Abraham Lincoln's son, right?
It was.
So Biden is doing the famous pardon a turkey thing, which Greg hates. And
you know why? Because they're going to eat turkey. They're going to. What they pardoned one. What about the one they didn't pardon?
Right. And I don't know that the turkey that gets pardoned, he doesn't make it all the way. No. They may just delay and eat him next year.
Yeah.
But that's my point. I pardoned it, but you still going to eat turkey.
Well, he goes to the farm down the street.
So this time the president, I'm sorry, Bubba, the president gets a little lost again and does his half jog back inside.
Not his jog.
Well, no, it's, a lot of people think he had to maybe use the bathroom because he blows right by the soldiers there.
Wow!
Look, he doesn't even look at him. He's gone.
I mean, he's running.
I think he tinkled.
Is that the move of I got to go to the bathroom?
I think he's trying to catch Amtrak back to Delaware.
Joey baby. No, that has a look like I need to tighten up. And then when he went to jog, you realize, no, that's just making it worse.
Or he's running from his poll number. I
You better pick it up a little.
One more day left. Don't empty it all today.
Right.
Come on now. Come on.
All right, so now we get into, now think of all the things we know. Here comes Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and she wants to reassure us that the president is not aging poorly at all. I mean, he's wide open and as spry as ever before. Here we go.
I would put the president's stamina, president's wisdom, ability to get this done on behalf of the American people against anyone on any day of the week.
See right there.
Okay. You lose that bet.
Yeah, no credibility. Not that you had any, but you see, because what you're saying is not possible. I mean, it makes no sense. You have no credibility.
Well, and I'm going to go this far. Everybody write this down. Everybody remember it. When Karine Jean-Pierre no longer has this responsibility, okay, and
people are going to play that clip back and go, "Okay, you were lying." Right?
Okay, now here's the other thing.
Yeah, I was.
And she will admit it when we read her book.
Right.
You're right.
Her book will come out. She'll get a great upfront payment on that. Probably be somewhere between $1 and $2 million. Okay?
Oh, more than that.
Yeah, and so she'll get that,
and it's going to be entitled "Lipstick on the Pig."
That's right.
Yes.
And she will then tell us, "Oh my goodness, this man was not even aware of his surroundings. I had to go out there and, like you say, put lipstick on it every day." And she'll tell the truth at some point. And we'll play this clip back and go, as Greg said, you said, Bubba, all of it. What she just said, it'd be like you standing here right now and pointing at something that obviously is red and trying to tell the whole world it's blue every day. I mean,
it'd be tough.
You look at it and you say, you don't mean that. Yeah. You really don't.
Hey,
you don't mean that.
Can I ask you a question? Back to his cake. Does anybody in here like coconut cake at all?
I do if it's done.
I thought nobody did.
I can tolerate it.
There's a
if it's a really good
it's in
coconut
like
cake.
a sheet cake and it's got like pudding mixed in with the cake part and it's got the icing and then some coconut. Now that's a good cake.
That's his favorite cake. That's what kind of cake it was. So I just wanted to know if anybody here would have eaten.
It's not my on top of my list, but there is a good version of coconut that I like.
When I first saw it, I thought, oh no, he's tried to deep fry a turkey.
It got out of hand.
He made a joke. He made a joke about his birthday. If you guys want to hear, I haven't heard it yet, but I've read it. So
okay, all right, here we go.
And by the way, it's my birthday today, and they can actually sing birthday to me.
What? Huh?
I just want you to know it's difficult turning 60. Difficult.
Well, God love him. God love his little joke.
Did he make a joke, or does he not know?
Yeah, he actually, Bubba, you're right. He may really think he's 60.
The same people that's giving him the speech, did they tell him he turned 60?
Yeah. Does anybody sure whether he thinks he's 60?
Are you saying he might have walked off and everybody said, "Hey man, that was good"? And he said, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 60.
Hey Jill, how old am I? 60. All right.
I'll tell you what he is doing. We got a 20-second clip from CBS, not exactly a bastion of conservatism. Here is CBS talking about how Thanksgiving, thanks to the Biden administration, is more expensive this year. Here we go.
Many other Thanksgiving staples are more expensive again this year. Canned cranberries will cost 60% more. Canned pumpkin prices have spiked 30%. And russet potatoes are up 14%.
Not the russet
It's
potato.
super expensive, and I'm sharing the cost with some of my siblings.
Definitely more conscious about what we purchase.
Okay.
Greg, don't laugh at that man.
Right. You know, the first time they had the scanner noise, I thought she was so mad about the prices she cussed. I thought it was a beat. I'll tell you what. Everything out here is like happy. But so there we go, America. Thanksgiving more expensive, and a happy birthday to Joe Biden. We'll be back. More Rick and Bubba coming up right after this.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
to carry out a mass shooting at a Memphis church, and he was going to shoot everybody at the church, slit the pastor's throat, then kill himself.
Okay.
So these are not the individuals that we're looking for here, but the FBI, thankfully, they have arrested Thomas McVicker. He's 38. They got him in Indiana, claiming he planned to carry out this mass shooting. He was going to do that Thursday at the church in Memphis. It doesn't specify on just the highlights of which church, and they don't say that in the story. Maybe that's something they don't want to say right now. But anyway, this is what we have to do. You said it in this story too, Bubba, the one you just gave about the one in California. A friend of McVicker's tipped off the FBI after he told her he intended to take his knife and split the pastor's throat. He is from Florida, and they said these were credible threats to conduct a mass shooting and suicide, and of course, then slit the pastor's throat as well. Also, his employer confirmed that he requested to be off on Thursday. And that was the day that he was going to do it. And he said that he was headed to Memphis and was going to spend some time there. The police, it says here, in the last 3 days of last week, and because this would have been last Thursday, the last 3 days that the police stopped 3 potential mass shootings in a span of 3 days. Wow. So, man, we got
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's why it's important. You need to tell people when you see this, because a lot of these in the past, people said, "Yeah, I tried to tell somebody," but now people are starting to pay attention, I guess.
Yeah. Here's another bad thing about McVicker. Now, this is the Memphis guy that was. Well, he's not from Memphis, but he was going to do the killing in Memphis. It says that he did have a Ruger P90 handgun, and he uses cocaine and meth from time to time.
So
all right.
That's
not a good combo.
No, not a good kind. That's not good.
No.
But again, in both cases, as Greg said and Bubba, you said, these are people that when these loons start saying loony things, you have to act. You have to do something. And in every case, sadly, it appears they were going to do what they said they were going to do. Right. But it was stopped.
Yeah,
it was stopped.
Thank God.
So that's good.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So these are really, really trying times when it comes to this, because we apparently. And there's always been evil in the world since the fall. However, now you're getting these. It's almost like they're almost coming across as these products that we've produced,
right?
And they all have some similarity. And as we've said on the show, we probably want to spend time on the ingredients that keep producing these people.
It's almost like fruit that
Right.
gets ripe, and then they go into this crazy thing, you know. And some of them we're catching before they hit the ground. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think now we realize it goes back to what you guys had said many times before 9/11, and we've discussed this. The protocol for a plane being hijacked changed after 9/11.
Yep.
Before that, the protocol was, hey, they're not going to kill anybody. They're just trying to get their demands, stay with it, let them land.
Give them what they want, let them get out of here, and then law enforcement can track them down.
But after 9/11, they realized, okay, it could be they're just going to kill everybody, and so you have to take it completely different. And now, when people start talking about these kinds of things, you have to now take it very serious. The good news is, because of all the social media, most of these people, because if you're going to do this, you're evil, you're not right, they will start putting out information about what they're going to do if you'll just pay attention.
Yeah, you got to listen close and take those tidbits of information serious. Some things you just don't need to joke about. That's one of them.
Well, just like this cat that was going to Memphis. I mean, he's talking about what he's going to do, and he's smiling about it like he's excited about it.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing that gets me. I didn't quit my job. I just took Thursday off.
Well, like he was going to come back.
Yeah. Right.
See y'all next week.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Yeah. You probably just want to say I'm done. If the plan is that you're going to be done when it's all over. But thankfully, I mean, it's still, it gives you some angst that these things are out there, but at least we're reporting that all of these plans were stopped.
Yep.
So that's good.
Good news today.
We'll be back. We'll jump into the first phone segment of the day at 866-WE-BE-BIG. The Hash Brown Hero, taking your phone calls, getting those lined up and ready to go. We'll do phone tro form, which means there'll be 30 seconds to call. And we'll move through those quickly. And the fact that we have 10 lines, you can get in easily if you'll move now because there's room. And then when you're in line, we'll roll through it and get to you as quick as we can. More Rick and Bubba next.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
9 minutes to the top of the hour. Rick and Bubba Show. Thank you for being with us today. Looking ahead, we have a Rick and Bubba replay coming up on Thanksgiving Day. Everybody off. A best of show hosted by Helmsy on Friday for the big shopping day. And then, Lord willing, all of us back on Monday. The 12 working days of Christmas starts on November the 30th, so that'll start next week. The big year-ender coming up December 15th, and Bubba, at that point, 30 years will be done.
How about that?
So all that is still ahead, and be listening to the Rick and Bubba store. We got some items being dropped by today that we can announce tomorrow. That the store is going to have some new items that'll be available for you for Cyber Monday and for Black Friday tomorrow. We'll tell you more about those. We should get those and look those over today. So be sure and look for that.
Rick, someone had sent me this. Thought that we would be interested in this, being that I am a Bubba.
Yes.
From a guy named Robert Sterling. He was, I think this was a post on X. He said, I think you would enjoy what he had to say. He says, I know we're not supposed to stereotype, but one of the craziest things about doing a prolonged business deal in the Deep South was learning that there really are guys who are 6'4", 300 pounds named Bubba.
Right.
Well, sometimes 5'9", close to 300.
Right, you're right, correct.
And these guys are the most authentic, friendly, and personable dudes you'll ever meet in your life. You can walk into a meeting with a stranger named Bubba, slap each other on the back, shake hands, and you've made a friend for life. You'll spend half the meeting talking about college football, but you still manage to get the deal done with plenty of time to spare. And you leave with an invitation to go shoot quail and eat brisket at his grandparents' farm. Whether you live down or you're traveling from New York, you're only one visit a year. Bubbas are a national treasure, and I will always be bullish on them. If anyone can save our country, it's our Bubba population. I couldn't agree more.
How about that? And they're everywhere.
Yep.
Does it? I noticed it, and I'm gonna hope it never took hold. I was always bothered because of everything in that email, okay, or on X, whatever. Did you notice there was an attempt to, even Dick Morris does this in the liner that we have for them, that they tried to lump Bill Clinton into the Bubbas, and I just don't think I don't think that works. Wasn't there kind of some people call him Bubba?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because he was from Arkansas, I think.
He was a hound.
We can't have him, Greg.
Bubba's a hound.
Greg, you don't know that. Greg, thank you for taking our Mayberry moment and destroying it.
Yeah, thanks, Greg.
But if Bill Clinton's going to walk in there, I'm sure the Mayberry moment's over anyway.
That's pretty much done.
But did he ever stick as a Bubba? You don't hear that much.
Well, he never went back to Arkansas. I mean, they moved to New York. I mean, he was trying to shed his Bubba image, I think, a long time ago.
A lot of ugly women suing him in Arkansas.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that'll do it.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's Greg again.
Yep.
That's stating facts.
Yeah, it is. But
I'm going to tell the story. There it is.
Yeah.
This really wasn't supposed to be about Bill Clinton.
Right.
It was a very heartwarming,
right.
Nice guys in the South named Bubba story.
Yeah.
And kind of got off path.
Sadly, I thought to myself, there's certain people that can't be allowed in.
Right.
And that's the one that hit me.
Yeah, well, that would probably rank up there. I would think most Bubbas were not supporters of that Bubba anyway.
No. Do you want to, because people are emailing me about it, do you even want to entertain this thing that you were told about Taylor Swift and this other person?
I've
heard of, conspiracy theories are.
You hear the strangest things.
Yeah,
out
you
there.
do. You do.
And I was told yesterday. Let's see if I can find it here.
Yeah,
that,
because
it's obviously out there on the internet because there's a split screen of these two people.
Right.
And it says it basically has a picture of this girl who was supposedly the daughter of the guy that started the Satan Church. Okay.
Are we talking about Crowley? Aleister Crowley?
Anton LaVey.
Oh, Anton LaVey, you're right. Greg.
Yeah, and her name was Zena.
Who was Aleister Crowley? He was in there somewhere.
He's from back in the old English days.
And they were on 2 or 3 talk shows back when they first started all this, and they've taken a screenshot of her and comparing her now to Taylor Swift, because there is a an uncanny resemblance.
Well, there it is.
And they say is Taylor Swift the reincarnation of her?
Of course, now, wow.
Just because she looks like it.
Yeah, it's. I know it's okay to say people look whatever.
Right. Well, this is what the actual story says. It says Taylor Swift is actually an Illuminati clone,
Greg,
made from Xena LaVey's DNA, a well-known Satanist from 1985.
Look at that. Out of that last one you just showed, they look even more alike and they both look a lot alike. But this last one you just showed, I mean, they really do look alike. It's almost like look right there. Yeah, that
now,
one.
You see how many pictures of them together on the internet. So, I was kind of out of the loop on this thing, but it was brought to my attention yesterday.
Well, you search Greg and Jimbo Fisher, and you see
you
the
do
same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Of course, Jimbo Fisher didn't start the Church of.
No, he did. I'm just saying, as far as lookalikes.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, that's there too.
Well, how do we know? So it's. But when you think about, there's people.
I think there's probably people sitting around that have way too much time on their hands.
There's no question about that.
Yeah. But that story is out there. I'm not saying it's true, but obviously it's easy to find.
Well, when these conspiracy theories start, I start thinking. All right, so I always try to find cart before the horse.
Right.
So chicken and egg.
Right.
So did somebody just kind of Google famous Satanist, and all of a sudden one of them's daughter comes up, and it started like this. You know who that looks like? That looks like Taylor Swift. And then somebody said it does. And did it go from there?
Probably.
Is that how
Probably
it started?
So.
Now, I just don't know how somebody ended up with the Satanist Church's founder's daughter.
Illuminati.
And started that. Because there had to be somebody who saw a picture of that person.
And I think, people will always draw the conclusion if you sell out, you could have earthly success.
Well, there's no doubt about that. We've seen that throughout time.
Taylor Swift certainly has had that.
Yeah.
So this girl that she supposedly looks like, is she still alive?
I don't know. Yeah, that's an 85 picture, and she was.
No,
yeah.
I think something very strange happened to her. If I
really?
remember right. Yeah. Let's see. I ain't time to read here.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, did we play when Biden was pardoning turkeys and all that? Him mixing up her and Britney Spears. Did we do that?
No.
This is quick, Rick, but this is him trying to be cool and messes it up.
Just to get here, Liberty and Bell had to beat some tough odds in competition. They had to work hard to show patience and be willing to travel over 1,000 miles. You could say even this harder than getting a ticket to the Renaissance tour or Britney's tour. She's down in, it's kind of warm in Brazil right now.
Oh, no.
You all over it, buddy. Good job. Way to bring that home. Way to deliver the line.
Oh, my God.
So listen, if I'm running against Biden, all I do is show that clip. In my political ad.
Yeah.
And all the Swifties are going to be mad.
How's that look?
Again, Speedy. Someone looked at the speechwriter and said, I understand we're trying to make him current and trendy, but who asked him to walk that line?
Yeah.
Somebody look. Picture the speechwriter, Greg, when he butchered it. Like that was my best line. Yeah. I had a great Taylor Swift line right there about odds. Top of the hour.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Richmond, Virginia, we go. Matt is standing by. Trolling.
Keep them phones a trolling.
Here we come, phone trolling. Matt, how are you today? Go ahead, 30 seconds.
Doing awesome. Heading to work. I might change my mind and turn around and go back home, but just wanted to give a little plug about these mass shootings. It's happening because it's a problem at the family level. Morality is a moving compass, and it's just a shame we have a soul problem when it comes to those mass shootings. And I do believe we're failing at a family level in this country.
Yeah, the family. Usually, as the family goes, so goes society, and the family is a mess right now, no doubt. Nathan, Clay County. Nathan, go ahead. 30 seconds. Welcome to the program. How are you?
Good morning, Biggins.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, just hope y'all seen that on Facebook. It goes around, you know how that goes. But supposedly Mexico court has legalized free.
I have a question. Can I ask the staff something? Are we having seem like large number of people who are talking through a wet blanket, or is my hearing failing?
Right. I think
a little of both, but yes.
I've noticed this because my wife talks about this a lot on the iPhone. You can't I'm not talking about Bluetooth. I'm talking about if you're holding it.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You have to keep it right here. If you start looking around or move it down, whatever, she'll go. You've moved your phone now. You sound like you got a blanket over your head.
Yep.
And so you have to talk right into it. You can't be looking around or doing anything. Now, if you're on Bluetooth, it's different. Then it's a little better. But we continue. Nathan in Jackson, Alabama, listening to 94.5. Nathan, go ahead.
Hey guys, I haven't listened to the show. I've been really getting after it this week, but I tuned in just in time to hear that crazy a-horse saying "bastard." Right. You have made my week. I don't even have to go to work anymore. I can just sit on the couch and take a nap.
Nathan, I think you are mistaken. He said pasture.
Right. He needed to be put out to pasture.
Yeah. Pasture. Yeah. Brian in Tennessee. Brian, 30 seconds.
Morning.
Go ahead. Hey, buddy.
Morning, fellas. How are y'all doing?
Good. Great.
Landline, first of all.
Hey, well, you can tell it.
You can tell
well played.
Well done. Long-time listener since 97.
Thank you.
Voice. Just want to say how much I love the bump music, the Trump bump music from Little P.
Oh, is that not the greatest?
Oh, it's awesome. I love Greg's reaction. And then I wanted to ask Speedy if he could sell my house.
Do what, bud? I'm sorry.
And
What do you say?
I'd love to ask Speedy if he could sell my house. I could buy his customer's house since he's a realtor, and then they could buy his house.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
I like it.
We got
You're
that.
talking about a Yankee swap.
Yankee swap. George in Montgomery. I-92 WLWI. George, go ahead.
Milkweed.
Hey, guys, suggestion for the best, what about top rope?
Yeah, we've gotten that one a couple times. Top rope.
Or what about we do 69?
I think what we could do is to put. I was picturing if you went top rope, you could have us dressed as wrestlers.
Ooh, that would be.
You
good.
know what I mean? And coming off the top rope.
That would be good.
What do you think about top rope?
How about top rope?
How about top rope?
Milkweed.
Milkweed.
How about Trump?
We continue. Let's go to Jason in Atlanta. Jason, welcome to the Rick and Bubba Show. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, first time caller.
Thank you for the call, Monkey Grass, buddy.
Thank you. Well, yesterday was my kid's first day of private school, and my son's in high school, junior in high school now, and he's got to take his textbooks in and put them in his bag. I said, son, common sense would say, do it last night. He says, Dad, I did not go to Rick and Bubba University yet. That made me very proud.
How proud were you?
That is good.
That is good. Thanks for calling. To Tyler, Texas, Justin is standing by. Justin, go ahead. Welcome.
Yeah, hey guys, Rick and Bubba. It's great to talk to you this morning.
Our pleasure.
I've been listening for a long time.
Thank you.
Yeah, Green Acres. I was even though I've listened for years, I've wanted to call in hundreds of times. I just couldn't help it this time because every time I hear that Butcher Box ad, Rick, and I hear you say curated instead of curated, it just drives me crazy.
I can't. I don't know how to. Greg and I have gone back and forth on this word.
I replaced that.
I don't know how to say it, and I had to go back and recut it one time.
I thought I edited it, but I guess I didn't.
Greg, I thought you did.
Remember, I bet I forgot to put the line back in.
You okay over there?
I know I had a little hang up.
What happened just then, Greg?
I don't know.
You all right?
I was trying to think and talk.
Does somebody need to reboot Greg?
Yes.
What if we had
So
a
how do you
reboot?
say it?
That'd be awesome.
Curated.
Curated. What did you say? It seems like, remember I got you to cut the line again and I was going to replace it.
Curated.
I think
is
Greg
what
just
you
had
were
a
saying.
1201, 1202 alarm.
I believe you're right.
You were adding an E in there.
Yeah,
Curated.
It's curated.
Correct.
Yeah, you may be shocked. I grew up in Calhoun County, and we never, ever were asking about a recipe that a chef curated.
Curated.
Yeah, that word has never existed in my entire life until I started doing commercials.
I don't use it either.
Well, if you say it correctly, Rick, it will fulfill you.
Yeah, yesterday we
listen. I got to talking about that when I got
back
home.
yet, but I'm waiting.
Listen, we got to laughing.
We just gave up
because there's certain words that members of the show can't say. Now, keep in mind we have a show that requires us to communicate.
But Rick, everybody has words they can't say.
I know.
Right.
What do they as bad as we do?
I've never seen.
What I find,
ours are some odd ones.
6 minutes past the hour. Like the morning sun is starting to shine. From the No Name Studio, from Sweet Home, Alabama to the world. Our number 866, We Be Big. Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, and Eddie Van Adler all here today. Welcome back, Bill Bubba Bussey.
Rick, glad to be here, and thank all of you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving week to everyone, and be careful out there if you're traveling. We'd rather talk to you than read about you.
Yes, and today, technically, it has been, it's been an ugly day. We've been limping along with technology today. We apologize for any...
We've been kicked right in the growing by technology
Yes,
today.
we have. You play the Gobble Gobble song one time and make one snide comment about Taylor Swift, and here comes doom. We start this hour, Bubba, with the Your America.
Of America.
Walking together through the
promised land.
Bubba, are you familiar with Ramapo College in New Jersey?
Now that's the one that just set the new record, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. We have a new women's school record that happened over the weekend. Mm-hmm. We now have the fastest, quotations please, woman. And we have a record that has been broken. The record, of course, the swimmer Megan Cortez Fields won first place, broke the school record in the 100-yard butterfly with a time of 57.22. Rick, why are you updating us on swimming records in New Jersey? Why? Why would you do that? I'll tell you why. Because it's a trans swimmer. We have a biological male that decided to transition over to the women's team and has set a record right out of the gate. So there you go. This bizarre experiment continues. Don't know why we're letting this go on, but this is a quote that is coming from Riley Gaines, who keeps trying to beg everyone to take a look at this. Here's what she says. Those who choose to remain blind to the injustice of allowing mediocre male athletes to become record-breaking female athletes, they're either incompetent or they themselves are misogynist.
Oh, you get to call them misogynist.
Yes, there is no in-between anymore. And I see what she's saying.
Are you kidding me?
Which one's the dude? I can't tell.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna say this is a dead giveaway here.
Yeah, I would.
You know, they said that she was really good at staying straight in her lane.
There we go.
It's coming.
Look, I mean, let's face it. You've heard the analogy of a boat without a rudder.
Right.
It's aimless, but one with a rudder, you can guide quite well.
Yep.
So there we go.
Even the extra drag, you can overcome it.
Right.
We're living, to Riley Gaines' point, we're living in a fantasy world
where they're misogynist, Rick, and I won't have it.
I like her playing that card because if you don't care that biological men are now taking over biological female sports, then you must be a misogynist. Because the left is terrified of words.
Yes.
I mean, and now for them to be able to, in the crosshairs of a word, ooh.
Well, they had tweeted congratulations to Megan Cortez Fields until it drew national attention, and now they have deleted it, of course.
Yeah, the swim team's official Instagram account is what I have on the screen right now. Records are off the charts right now. Megan Megatron Cortez has broken the women's 100-yard butterfly record with 57.22.
The key...
Megatron may be a good analogy.
That's good.
Transformer, more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I can see that pretty clear.
Yeah.
Right.
My eye isn't blind on this one. No. I might want to take a half step back.
Yeah, sure.
I may want to gouge my eye out.
Well,
the women's swim team should never feature a jockstrap.
No.
So when you look at this, I like that Riley Gaines says it's not just an injustice that this is happening. The transition usually involves mediocre biological male athletes becoming record-breaking female athletes.
That alone should let you know that this is not fair to females.
It's just that. I mean, it's just living in a fantasy world. It's a pretend, and that's fine if it doesn't involve, destroying people's ability. Now, think about it. I mean, there's a lot of, the daughters all over this audience and within this show, working and working and working and working and working to be the best female athlete in their class or whatever, and they've done all the training, and all a male has got to do is declare they're a woman and come over there and with not the same devotion, not the same excellence, and beat you and break a record. It just,
I mean, just declare you are and bring a roll of duct tape, and here you go.
Wow, Cassio. So I was. Let me throw this as a guy on TV looks like Cassio. But I go back to this again. Why don't you think this is one of the things that you and I always like? Isn't this the left against the left?
Yeah, it really is.
Because doesn't the left claim that they are the heroes and the champions of women? Right?
Well, they did.
Right.
And somehow they've turned this into the same thing, which obviously makes them misogynist.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad we can use that now. I like that.
I do too. Here's another. I know the CDC lives to scare and terrify. Now, I don't know whether this. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not important.
Well, they're scared. That's for sure.
If your loved one deals with it, obviously. But anytime the CDC is trying to scare me again, like they do anytime the holidays are approaching, I'm thinking they're going to come out with a new strand of COVID or something like that.
Well, you got to have something. Elections coming out.
Yeah. Well, this one I don't know if it's going to connect because it's tied to eating fruit. So if I'm thinking, if somebody's trying to make me terrified of fruit, I'll just pass on it. Anybody familiar? Is it listeria? Is that how you say it?
Listeria.
Isn't that a bacteria?
Yeah.
And says that unfortunately there is an outbreak in fruit. Sadly, someone has died, so it can be very serious, and 10 are hospitalized across 7 states. And that's horrible for those people. But again, I'm not sure when I think of 330 million people, and we've got 10 in the hospital, and one that has
I think you have flu-like symptoms. Is what you have with this.
But it gets you in fruit.
I think
we got some bad fruit out there.
In this case, it was in peaches, nectarines, and plums.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to worry about any of those.
Yeah, usually pretty good.
You get into the grape, strawberry, blueberry world, I'm in trouble.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if somebody told me,
they're saying even check your freezers for fruit that you may have frozen. They would need to also clean and decontaminate their freezer. So it'll live through freezing?
I guess.
Wow. But I thought freezing took care about everything.
Oh, was it listeria that also was in that ice cream that one time? Was that also listeria?
I told Rick, I said, I believe when we usually hear that, it was ice cream. Dude.
And that one did scare you.
Yes.
It did.
That one we were worried about.
But if somebody screams to me, Rick, watch out for fruit. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I
can probably make it through the day.
Sure. I mean,
I bet.
Now, you tell me we've got some kind of bacteria living in homemade dressing. Watch out Thursday.
You're talking about Daredevil?
Yeah, now we got problems. I mean, now we got problems. When we come back, 866-WE-BE-BIG is our number. It is a Rick and Bubba classic, an opportunity for us to celebrate the 30 years with a very popular opportunity for you. But I'll let Bubba read an email that'll set it up, and we'll have that for you when the Rick and Bubba show returns right after this.
Rick and Bubba.
I find it's bothersome enough is there's words out there that are similar that we could just take the time to find those and use them, and we won't even do that.
No. I know. I tried, but Rick, a lot of this, remember, is off the cuff. Like when I do the live spot, there sits Qurated. It's just sitting there. And so like Bubba will talk about it when we know it's a word we struggle with and we can see it down a few rows
you already
out.
Tense up.
You tense up. Yesterday, Bubba, we were trying to cut a spot with a word that Bubba can't say, and guys,
fulfill. It's not a hard word.
Now, Bubba says,
he would say it, and then when we cut it, he'd go fulfill.
Yeah, I say it F-U-R.
No, you say F-E-R, Furfield.
Furfield. And listen, we cut it like 3 times. We said, forget it.
F-U-R, Furfield. Instead of fulfill, Bubba says Furfield.
Yeah, instead of full, I say fur.
We just gave up. And I said, maybe it'll pass.
We just gave up.
I couldn't say it. I just could not say it.
If that spot runs,
Furfield,
you're going to, and I don't remember what market it's in.
It's local.
Bubba's going to say that they can fulfill your
dreams.
Now, what's going to happen today, Rick?
And then I'm going to say once they have fulfilled your desire, then you're going to get a curated recipe.
Here's what's going to happen. I send it in, and I have a little website that I get the commercials off of, and when they want to redo, they come back and they're red. I'm going to get a red one on that, but I figured we'd give it a shot.
Did you get a red one on curated and we didn't change it?
I think I can fix that, but it's going to take time. I'm going to have to say it a few thousand times to myself.
Curated.
We'll fix that.
Curated.
See, I used to couldn't say architectural review, but I've got someone say that.
Is it curated?
Curated.
Curated.
Curated it.
Curated. Curated.
We need to start a segment of outtakes and post show.
Fulfill.
Fulfill.
Just say I'm full and
curated.
I feel it. Fulfilled.
Fulfill.
All right, now Bubba.
Register.
Register.
Okay.
Spatula.
It's usually register.
Spatula.
Okay. Now
Spatula.
Spatula.
Register. That's
What's
what
the
it
other
says,
dog I can't say, Rick?
Chihuahua.
Oh,
Chihuahua.
No, Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Karen and Piper.
Chihuahua.
Karen, welcome to the Rick and Bubba Show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I have a suggestion for the title of the new Best of CD.
Okay.
Because I'm a Greg minion. I think it should be I Can't Drive 69.
Thank you.
That was a lady.
Jason in Tuscaloosa.
I blame you.
Jason, go ahead.
It's all your fault.
It was
Hey, good morning, Fat One.
Hey, go ahead.
This was your fulfillment.
Go ahead, Jason.
That lady just said.
Hey, listen, I got a suggestion for the best of. How about you killed my brother, you bastard?
We can't keep saying that.
No.
Hey, we got to clean this truth
We're in our
up.
limit here, guys. Come on. We're not helping because we're laughing every time.
Listen,
That's three.
I will admit.
Howard Stern called wants his show back.
It was honest.
Yeah, it was just the way you said it.
No, it was.
Yeah, it's not that it wasn't factual. It was just the way you said it.
I'm going
Bubba, you don't
to
have to prove.
I'm gonna play it back.
Let me try this.
Let me just say this: as bad as that last one was, that would be a great title.
It would. Let me go back to this again. All right, guys. Everybody on the show. The key to these things, them being funny, and then not being offensive, or not getting us in meetings, is that they're said in a passing deal, and everybody laughs and gets a good laugh. Then we move on.
That's right.
We don't keep coming back and bringing it back. Everybody on the show is allotted one cuss word a year. Now, for some reason, we're putting them all into August.
I thought it was a month.
I thought it was a quarter.
No,
I haven't used mine yet.
It used to.
Whatever it is.
No, Greg, nobody ever said a month.
I thought it was a month.
Nobody ever said a month.
I think you're taking some of ours and using it.
That's not fair.
Bubba had a point at a quarter. I tried to put you on a year.
Yeah.
And you won't do the year, you won't do the quarter, you're doing the month.
Oh, I thought it was month.
I thought it was weekly. Rick.
Hey, no.
The thermostat was your fault the other day.
It really
was. All on you.
This
Total
points
reaction
to you.
off the spine, which means there's still work to be done. We'll be back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Minutes past the hour, the Rick and Bubba Show, 866 We Be Big. Thank you for being with us. Okay, Bubba, so we're going to do something that an email has prompted today, and also kind of cool to do it since we're getting ready to celebrate our 30th anniversary.
Rick, this comes from Angela Tips, she, her, master instructor, MTSU School of Music. She says, hello, fellas. Just want to let y'all know that Monday and Tuesday I'll be playing Country Song or It Ain't with my students in my Introduction to Music class. There are 150 in the Monday section, 100 in the Tuesday section, and we're discussing country music hooks.
Oh, nice.
I've been using this game for years as an icebreaker, and I always give y'all a shout-out. Happy Thanksgiving from a longtime listener, Angela Tips.
How about that?
That's cool, Angela. I like that.
I like that.
And in honor of that, how about this?
Uh-huh. Whoop. There we go.
Yeehaw and howdy. It's time for your favorite part of the show.
Let's go.
We call it It's a Country Song or It Ain't. with the wildest wranglers this side of the Mason-Dixon. Country boy Rick and his buddy, Bubba.
Here we go, Bubba. It's country song or it ain't. Here's how it works. You get an opportunity to try to identify if Bubba is giving you the title of an actual country song or did he just make it up.
We love our country music listeners.
We love
Rick.
them.
Can't make it without them. But
Love 'em.
even they will tell you we have some titles out there that are dandies. And we do play this a little bit like Match Moultrie. We're going by what's on the sheet.
Right, because, I know that sometimes...
Don't research it.
Yeah, sometimes you look and you're like, okay...
what once was made up could be real now.
Now here's the problem. You got to get 3 of them correct.
That's right.
And so if you only get a couple and then you miss one, then you don't win either. So it's not that difficult. Bubba, up for grabs today, and I know that we will be delivered some new items coming up. What do you think? We're going to have a series starting celebrating the 30 years of some collectible glasses. And our holiday one for Christmas, is going to be available for you to order as of tomorrow. What do you think? Do you let if we get a winner, win that since it's a brand new item? Or do you say they can have anything out of the store they want if we got it in stock?
Well, let them make their decision.
Okay, make that decision. Okay, because this is not in the store, so you can say, I'll just take something that's in stock right now, or hey, I'd rather have the glass that's not available.
Let them do what they want to do.
Because it's a pretty big deal to win it.
It is.
I mean, all right,
it's a very big deal.
Come on. Yeah, so let's, Bubba, oh, wow, we're trying to get ringers. We got 2 people from Nashville right out of the gate trying to be ringers on Country Song or It Ain't. So, Jake out of Nashville, are you ready to play Country Song or It Ain't?
Yes, sir.
Here we go, Bubba. Title number 1.
Every time we throw a party, she beats me to the punch. Country song or it ain't?
I'm going to go with It Is.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Oh, no. I mean, didn't even... Music City, Hall of Fame, all that.
I mean, you thought.
Staying in Nashville, Alan. Alan, can you... try to give Nashville its due? I mean, not Jake. He just got crushed.
Well, this is my 3rd time in about 22 years of listening to you guys, and I've gotten 2 right, 1 right, so I don't know if 3rd time's a charm or not.
Oh, Alan.
Big pressure here.
Alan. All right, here we go.
I know it. I just wanted to call and make a comment, and I'm now about to be embarrassed on national radio.
Maybe not. No, that can't be your attitude, Alan. You might do this.
Okay, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, or you could just identify as getting it right, and we have to give it to you.
Yes, sure.
All right, here. Thank you very much. Alan, here we go. Title number 1, Bubba.
Fill up my propane tank with all your love. Country song or it ain't?
That's a good one.
Oh, my God. It sounds too corny, but I'm going to go, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not.
Wow, 3rd time was not.
3rd time you got 0.
Did you hear him scream 0 for 3? So he's got 2, he's got 1, and now he has none. He's getting worse.
The cycle reversed.
Yeah. Let's go to Beverly out of Springville, Alabama. Beverly, how are you doing?
Good morning. Doing great.
All right, you ready to play? Here we go. Title number 1.
Divorce Me, COD. Country song or it ain't?
It is.
You are correct. It is.
There we go. 1 and 1 correct, Bev. All right, here we go. Title number 2.
Don't water down the bad news, baby. Country song or it ain't?
It ain't.
I'm sorry, it is.
Womp, womp, womp.
I mean, ringing Bev up half a seat. Brennan, up. Moment of silence for Calhoun County. Out of Anniston, Alabama, Calhoun County, Alabama, where all 3 of us sitting here are from.
All right.
Brennan, are you ready to play and bring glory to the county?
I'm in.
Here we go. Title number 1.
Excuse me, I think I've got a headache. Country song or it ain't?
It ain't.
I'm sorry, it
Good
is.
night. I mean, you are just throwing smoke right now. Dragon, he said, "Go Cubs! Let the Valley Cubs down."
Oh, you can't do that.
I mean, you
Death
can't
Valley.
even. I mean, even Calhoun County can't even beat Bubba today.
Oh my gosh.
Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to Jackson. Ben is standing by. Ben, how are you?
I'm good. Y'all ready to do it or what?
Let's go. Title number 1.
I know we're cousins, but I won't tell. Country song or it ain't?
No, that's not a country song.
You are correct. It's not.
All right, okay. Here we go. All right, here we go, Ben. Title number 2.
I could never forget you because I've tried. Country song or it ain't?
That's good.
It absolutely is.
I'm sorry, it's not.
I thought it was
No,
too.
you're so confident.
I thought it was.
I'm ringing up Jackson. Oh, my goodness. Let's go to Sylacauga. Tony standing by. Tony, you ready?
I'm ready.
Bubba, I mean, can't anybody hardly foul one. Here we go. Title number 1.
Everybody loves a nut. Country song or it ain't?
It is.
You are correct. It is.
Everybody loves a nut.
Sometimes you feel like it. Sometimes you don't. All right, here we go. Title number 2.
Don't squeeze my Charmin. Country song or it ain't?
It ain't.
I'm sorry.
Good night.
It
They
is.
can't touch you.
They can't. Look, I've never seen a bullpen be so silent. There's not an ounce of movement out there.
No.
Let him pitch.
Couldn't get it with a boat paddle.
Hey, this has got complete game written all over it.
It's in the zone.
Prattville,
I want
Alabama.
somebody to win.
I-92, Jason and Prattville. Are you ready, Jason? Do you dare face Bubba today?
I guess so. It can't be any worse.
All right, here we go. Title number 1.
Her cheating heart made a drunken fool out of me. Country song or it ain't?
It is.
You are correct. It is.
There we go. That's good. That way to look good in there. All right. Adjust your feet. Here we go. Title number 2.
Don't let the doorknob hit you on the way out. Country song or it ain't?
It is.
You are correct. It is.
Now, nobody's made it this far. Nobody has made it this far. The all-important, can you do it, Jason, title number 3.
Come back to Nashville and get your Peterbilt. Country song or it ain't?
Oh, boy.
It ain't.
I'm sorry, it is.
Oh, that's really it. That's really. Rick.
Go.
Oh, no. Come on back around here.
Bubba goes under. Nobody touches him.
Wow.
No, hey,
foul at all.
How about our 30th anniversary glass collection is safe? The store, any inventory is safe. Not enough time to really do it now, Bubba. So nobody was able to even touch you. Does that make you happy or sad?
I wanted somebody to win. We don't have time.
No, there's no way.
No winners.
We don't have time.
We don't have time.
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey,
Close the cabinet, put the glass back up.
I really thought that we had it there at the end.
Oh, I did too.
And
I think he did too.
Yeah, and but boy,
all I can say is,
Greg, do you think he fell victim to overthinking it?
I think he did.
Yeah, and hey, he was looking for the curve so much, and all of a sudden, just zip
right down the pipe.
I mean, because he was ready. He was just
It's more psychology than it is the competition.
Doggone it. Doggone it.
Oh boy!
Well,
that was good.
That was good.
That was fun,
That
guys.
was
Sorry,
good.
no winners.
No winners
I mean,
today.
we got all this
Everybody
stuff we
shut
got
up.
to give away.
Well, we'll talk about it.
We got the 12 days coming up. We got a lot of stuff to give away.
Bottom of the hour, more Rick and Bubba coming up right after this.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Okay, so a couple of places that we can go here. Do you want to do the Sean Spicer story with Dancing with the Stars? We've got the royal family. They don't like that everybody's pointing out that they are supposed to be big climate change people, but they're flying everywhere.
You mean they're actually being called out?
Yeah, we
for
got
being
that.
hypocritical.
Did I see where Prince Andrew was on suicide watch? I'm serious. I saw that headline.
And he's
all
the one that's tied to Epstein.
Boy, is he ever.
They've been tracing his travel and Epstein and the girl, and there's a lot of correlation there. It's
We got pilots talking too.
getting kind of bad.
Rick,
Let's
now
start.
we got a bunch of chatty Cathys.
Let's start with Sean Spicer, the former White House press secretary.
Okay.
He is going to be on Dancing with the Stars, and they've had other political people on there before. They had, the mayor, the governor of Texas, who is in who's in President Trump's administration now, Rick Perry.
Yeah,
he was
that's
on
right.
there.
He didn't last.
It was not good to watch.
No, he wasn't a good dancer.
Okay.
But I mean, they've had other people of political, and now and here's the thing: I didn't hear him say it, so he's got such a dry sense of humor. You got to be careful of the context and what it was said here, and I wish we had video of that. But the host of the show, and I can't say his last name, Rick, Tom Bergeron.
Used to be on funny home videos.
Right. And he is a very good
Till
host.
Carlton took it over.
Bergeron? Is that how you say it? Bergeron?
Bergeron. Maybe that's it. He is a very good host.
Right?
No. We got a radio show too.
Bergeron.
Hey, we're not a landscaping company, by the way. We're a radio show. We can't talk.
Which requires
we can't talk.
Bergeron. Is it Bergeron?
There's a different with people's names.
Am I
because they're
wrong?
all over the place.
It'd be
It's
like
something
us.
that.
It'd be like us being a landscaping company, and we don't know anything about plants, grass.
We can't even crank a lawnmower.
No, nothing.
Yeah, it's Bergeron.
Bergeron.
He tweeted out.
it's a Bergeron.
What'd y'all call it? Y'all weren't even close.
Well,
Bergeron.
And I'm going to paraphrase. Let's see. What is
That's why I don't like the G. Bubba said this 1,000 times. His name should be, for us to say it right, Berjeron.
Yeah.
Bergeron.
Kind of like our name.
And see, because Burgess should really be spelled with a J.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's no need for the G to be G and J, because we got a J. Just covered by the J. So the G should only be G. It should never be J.
And that's why I tell them, Marker, when they call
I
the
think
house, they
we
say
keep-
Mr. Burgess.
Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Let's keep talking the way we talk, and if people don't like it, they can shut it.
Or they can lump it, one or two.
Let's just do that, okay?
Well,
We're
we
letting
do what
people
that man
dictate a lot of this, and a
Right.
lot of this is just fun for us.
I know. You're right.
Curated.
But we want to try to do better.
Well, no question, but
Yeah.
there's
Fulfill.
but we're overthinking this.
We want
thing.
to fulfill everybody.
names. Bubba said it. Names
We got
can
a lot
go
of
many different ways.
Yeah.
Fulfilling
Let's
you.
don't
I mean,
be- let's
people
don't-
are still calling me Helmsley, okay, and that's not my name,
Right.
okay. But I'm not a jerk about it.
Right.
I just,
Is it
you
not
know,
Helmsley?
See, I mean,
Is it not?
I just go. I don't
What
have
about
the heart
Swifty?
to tell them. How about Swifty over here?
No,
It's actually Speedy.
I hear Stevie a lot. I'll say, hey, this is Speedy. Okay, thanks, Stevie.
I wish it was Stevie. So
Now, there's reports out that the host did not want him to be on the show to begin
Oh, really?
with.
Bergeron.
And
Bergeron?
You talking about Burgundy?
And he's saying that, this should be a place that we come to get away from politics.
What?
But-
Okay, buddy.
But by him saying that, he's injected politics into
Did
it. This guy-
Spicer say I'm going to dance and yell out political views while I'm dancing?
No, he's not employed in the White House anymore. So he's not political at this point, okay? I don't get that. He also made a joke, and I thought that was funny, that he was going to be in charge, talking about Spicer, of estimating the audience every night.
That's
because he was the press secretary
That's
when
funny.
he was talking about the inauguration
crowds.
audience and the controversy with that too. So I thought that was pretty.
You
funny.
talking about when Trump wanted to be the biggest one there ever was in the history of the United States?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I tell you, there's a little bit of drama, not just with Spicer, but also with Lamar Odom and Ray Lewis. People are complaining because of their past.
Yeah.
But if you start doing that, I'm just like we've just
Now,
talked
Ray Lewis
about.
had his event. It's been a while. Now,
yeah.
Lamar Odom was like last week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Well,
had
it's
a
like
long
a year
list of
ago. He
stuff.
had his big went to the
Hey, wasn't he
Nevada
in a
ranch
coma at
and,
one time?
Yeah, and OD'd.
Yeah, right.
Right. And has Christy Brinkley made a deal with the devil?
I know.
Well, Rick, it's
I
funny
mean,
you mentioned that.
her and the Rolling
Betty,
Stones.
She looks like the same person.
She really does.
Betty claims she has made a deal with the devil. There's
Yeah,
one or two
you're right.
people she has on that list. I won't go any further. than
Right.
Christy Brinkley.
Right. Yeah, I've seen Betty's list, and I can't argue with any of them.
One of them's a football coach.
Well, there it is. So
I'm saying, there's a lot of coaches out there.
there's a bunch. So this is the thing with this boycott thing. Or is this our new go-to? Even Bill Maher is saying, did we just have one
Well,
hand we play now? Even
don't jump into that one. This is going to be so confusing. We can't get them all rolled back.
well,
up.
I'm just saying, Bill Maher, who I find repulsive on the way he sees the world, but I do give him credit. There are places where Bill Maher, kind of like what.
Pass the gravy, please. Ooh, it brings me to my knees. I can't start another day without him, brother.
35 minutes past the hour, the Rick and Bubba Show.
Working on their blubber.
How would you like that one, Speedy?
No, I couldn't have handled it.
As we make our way back, 866 We Be Big. Couple of things that you need to know. So here we go. We're moving to the biggest shopping weekend. It'll be Black Friday all the way in to Cyber Monday. We'll tell you tomorrow. There'll be some new items in the Rick and Bubba store ready to go, including an opportunity tomorrow for you to go ahead and order the brand new CD this year, Rough Patch. So we'll be talking about that and some other items tomorrow, so be ready for that. That'll be going on. If you're interested in the Man Church conferences in 2024, just today, because we get an update at least every other day on ticket sales, they're about 70% capacity. But even the 30% of the seats that are left, because some people buy different levels, there's still some prime primo seats that are still available. But understand there's going to be a price increase on those two conferences coming up after the big year-ender on December the 15th. So go ahead and get those great ideas for the men on your list to send them to either one of those conferences or both. You can get the lineup on both the conferences and get the tickets at themanchurch.com. So make a note of that as we get into the weekend. We got a replay coming up on Thursday for you in your time of Thanksgiving. Everybody will be off. We got a best of show on Friday. And then, Lord willing, we should all be back on Monday. And then the 12 working days of Christmas starts next Thursday. So here we go, guys.
Here we go.
And then we start working our way to the big year-ender. All right, so even though 1E, Adler, is this really, do we have to keep doing this? Do people still not know that the deep frying a turkey can turn into a fireball?
Boy, it can.
I mean, but do we keep having to say this? Do people not know that?
The fire department puts on a little show in every year. Let's see it on the news where they just blow it up.
Yeah. So
there it is.
Watch this. Here it is. It's a demonstration.
Everybody ought to know by now.
But that's what I'm saying, Greg. Don't we know by now, or do we have to keep doing this every
I think
year?
they just like doing it.
Drop it. Dropping it in. A little too quick, though. Boom.
Wow.
That could happen to you, folks. That could happen to you, folks.
So the key is don't drop it in too fast?
I think so, yeah.
You gotta
don't let it overflow.
You got to have the temperature of the oil right. You know, that's why when we used to sell the cooker, it's critical that the oil, if you get it too hot, it will also do that. That's,
really?
That's one of the
Well,
problems,
that electric one had a thermostat on it and wouldn't let it.
It had protection. It cut off and all that. You got to. There's a lot of moving parts when you do that, and they are great if you cook them that way. But man, they're dangerous.
That's what
you got to know what you're doing.
I do it every year with a Masterbuilt turkey fryer.
You
Fry
like
one
that,
up
don't you, buddy?
every year. People love it. The family loves it. I'm the turkey guy.
We never fry one.
Oh, that's great.
We never fry one. We always roast a big one.
They're good.
About a 25, 30 pound one.
Yeah.
It's all about, the slow going. We do it too. We do it every year too. My uncle does too. Every year.
Is he pretty good at it?
He is.
He owns it?
Yes.
I love that guy.
And it's just you got to be slow taking it in. And when you get down towards the bottom and it's all nearly in there, you can't rush it. And plus your hand, you're wearing a glove, plus your hand is getting close, so it's getting warmer. And so you can't panic.
Nope.
You got to just stick with it.
Okay.
And just
be cool.
Everybody be cool. But he's the master. Uncle Sonny is the master.
Do you think you could?
Oh yeah, I've watched him enough, and I understand what's going on.
You
now.
and Uncle Sonny. I mean, are you ready when Sonny goes on in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, Rick, he'd go for
my Uncle Sonny blew back into town.
Yeah.
Showed me how to fry turkey. Then
Yep.
Yeah. Uncle Sonny. How old is Uncle Sonny?
Sonny's still alive, Rick.
Yes, he is.
I didn't say
Yeah, he's still alive.
I didn't
Well,
say
he pulled off his
You're
fedora,
putting him in
Rick,
the grave.
stuck his fingers in the crown, pulled out $100, and he laid that money down.
Yeah, that's right. And he fried that turkey to perfection.
Late 60s.
And he sat up big and tall.
Late
No one even
60s,
noticed him.
Rick, early 70s.
Oh, okay. You're fine. Uncle Sonny taking care of himself? Mm-hmm. Pretty healthy guy?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you're ready.
We should stop asking questions.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rick,
all
what are
right.
you doing?
Yeah.
This is just about preparation, the 5 P's. Prior planning prevents poor performance.
He has
Or the 6 Ps
prepped
that Tony
me
gave us.
and his son Tony
Right.
well enough to we can take this
my
over.
cousin.
You think you're a better stand-in than his son?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Tony knows that.
You didn't even
Yeah,
check.
Tony's he's just gonna say, "I'd rather you do it."
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
he'll be there in case something happens to me.
Understood.
But Tony will be like, "Yeah, you got this."
Which kind of brings up. So we have a lot of.
He'd rather hang out with Mac Daddy.
Yeah, we have a lot of traditions every year, and frying a turkey is just not our tradition. I love a fried turkey. Don't hear me say anything different, but we just don't do that. We never have, and I think that's the only reason why we don't. We just never have, and no one wants to do a new thing. Yeah. So, and we have
So
a big
good.
old roasted turkey, and it's always perfection. Last year may be one of the best ones we've ever cooked. So,
Is it good?
because we'll never remember how we did it and dial it in that perfect again this year because we never can remember. But I mentioned it on yesterday's show that, one of my sons has got this idea that instead of and there's nothing I can do, he's turned into a WB, and once that happens, you just have to go with it, a wife bringer. And that is that he thinks we should take our wives out for the first hunt of the year. We've never done that. Maybe I'll start frying turkeys now. But anyway,
The first hunt.
Yeah, that'll be our first hunt, unless I find some way down there before Saturday.
This is not his idea.
Yeah,
Maybe later.
yeah, but so it's just going to be a little morning go out, and then we'll whatever. And he's got to head back to New York, the next day and all that, and Iron Bowl and all that.
Sure.
And so but this means that we'll be staying at Camp House, and there'll be females in the Camp House, so there's strike two. And then it happened at Camp House on Sunday. I'm Camp House breakfast guy.
You
and
are.
we
You
all
do a great
and we
job,
all know
too.
that.
Yeah, you do a good
okay?
job.
And we all know that.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry's now introducing chocolate biscuits because, again, the kids are going to be scattered this year, and they're all not going to be here on Christmas Day, and Blake's not going to get his chocolate biscuits. And so Sherry says, well, if I'm going to be down there and we got to do a breakfast, I'm just going to make him chocolate biscuits. And then she walked over to my stovetop in my oven and started tinkering around. And then she was, well, this thing don't even light good. I said, baby, you don't know how to light it.
You gotta know the
you
trick.
know, and because it's not a new
Stop
one.
it,
It's
Rick,
not a new
stop
one.
it.
But I like it, and I know how to run it, and I know how to do that one, and I don't know how I feel about her taking over my kitchen at Camp House.
She might have to go to the White House.
I hate
Did
to
you
bring
mention
that up. At one time, I said, because I got kind of, it's like I could feel that I was starting to get a little anxious.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if we're going to do the married couples, maybe we should just stay at the little White House. Maybe we should go over to the little farmhouse. And she said, well, I don't see why we would do that. I mean, aren't y'all's hunting stuff's over here, right? Yep, no women have ever stayed here. Don't know what I want to do.
Well, since
Rick,
she said
she
it
opens that
didn't-
little cabinet door that Gary's got rigged to scare everybody.
Well, that'll happen. But the thing about Sherry, though, bless her little tiny heart, it'll probably go right over her head.
Yeah.
You know, and
Rick, use this thing that she complained about to your
scared our mother
advantage.
with it.
Say, yeah, something's wrong with it. You might want to make it over at the White House.
Well-
I'll do the Camp House breakfast over here, but anything you want to make.
Where were you? Because like an idiot, you know what I did because it was instinctive. I said, no, like this. And of course, I get it lit immediately. And she goes, oh, okay. She
You
goes,
got to
"I-"
know. You got to know how to do it.
Yeah,
That's
she goes,
Camp
oh,
House
okay. Well, then
technique.
you can just light it for me. And I went, well, then what am I doing?
What are you doing? You could have said, yeah, there's a problem. You might
I
want
said, I may be broke.
Yeah, it's not reliable.
Hey, the whole house could go up. Get out.
Right.
Get out now.
Or it just, it won't stay. It keeps going out.
Yeah.
You might want to just go over and make it over
And
there.
then the comments like this. Now, do you have some camo for us? Because we got to be cute. I mean, is it cute? Cute?
Camo's
I
not,
don't know,
buddy,
babe.
I'm so sorry.
Camo's, I guess it's cute. I don't know. Well, I mean, because we want to. I said, baby, we're going to be in blinds, shooting blinds. Really, if y'all want to, y'all could just wear jeans or what. No. I want to get a cute picture of us all in our camo. And then we're going to do chocolate biscuits, and then we're going to. And then you hear things like, "Are we taking guns?" And I'm like, "Yes, we're taking
Okay,
guns."
all right. You know where you've got to go
What, you
on
gonna
this,
take
don't
binoculars?
you? You realize this? This is where your mind. You remember when you used to take the kids on youth hunts, and you're like, "We're probably not getting anything." It's about the experience.
It is.
It's about dad spending time with the kids, and we're just gonna go out and have memories. That's where your mind's got to go. Your mind's got to go. We're not gonna. We're not really hunting. We're gonna go
Right.
enjoy time together.
Well, I know what's going to happen because it happened last year, if you remember, because it's the new empty nest world. I take my sweet, beautiful wife that's the love of my life, and she says, well, I just like to sit out here and see the wildlife. And I said, okay, well, I'll leave you here. And then I thought, well, I'll go hunt. You know what I mean?
You can watch
and
wildlife.
it took me 10 minutes to get where I dropped her off to where I was going.
Okay.
I'm still coming in the door of the shooting house. I'm not seeing anything. And I was like, baby, I'm not even where I'm sitting at. We're just now sitting. Yeah. Well, you said there would be a lot of wildlife here. I don't know why you put me here. I don't see nothing. When am I going to see something? When do you think the deer will come through here? Baby, I don't know. I don't know when. It's about being out in the woods. So now that's just going to be in the house with me. Well, I thought we were going to see some deer. Baby, there's no way to guarantee
You have to
it.
go to the hottest field and just hope something happens.
Well, I have. I've found a spot.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter like the size of the deer or anything
No,
like
it
that.
doesn't-
I'm
nothing
going
that-
to the place where the most deer are.
That's all you got.
Right. And
Boy, look how many's out. Look how many's out here.
Right, boy. Well, I don't know about you. I'm getting tired of seeing deer.
Man, keep taking pictures.
I guarantee you, I'll hear in the darkness. I don't see anything yet. Baby, the sun's not up. Let's all watch the sun come up.
Or just have Gary let them loose at different times, you know.
So are there wild dogs out here? No, baby. I mean, they can't, I guess, but we're all right. 15 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll be right back. Phone calls next.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Reed is doing, where he'll come back and say, look, this particular topic, whatever it is, it's okay to not go along with some political crowd because there's a right and wrong on this. You know, he'll surprise you sometimes on the
with
things
the Muslim thing.
and this is what he's in trouble for that again because. But the point he's making on that is pretty good. But the bigger point I was making, but tying it to Sean Spicer's story, and we'll do more on the Bill Maher if you want to, but is that this thing of if we don't like something, all we do now is scream boycott.
Right.
And Bill Maher saying that too. Is that our one play thing? That's it's all he says. It's almost like we've become like children where we just want anything that we don't like to stop. We don't want to have to deal with it. We don't want to have to defend our point. We just if something makes us mad, we want it to be destroyed and go away.
Boycott.
Yeah, and
well, now it is somewhat.
You got to watch that boycott line too, because if you want to be consistent, you're gonna find yourself in a bind.
Yes, you are.
It
and
is,
a bind.
It's always entertaining when you see the left turning on themselves.
Yeah.
And we have Rashida Tlaib, the Democrat representative from Michigan, and you know Bill Maher took issue with her and her position on some of the Israel issues that they're voting on in Congress. And she fired up, hey, boycott his TV show. And he's like, is that all y'all got? Is that? But, I mean.
He was just saying, you know, cancel, boycott, go away. And he's like, he said these are the phrases that toddlers use. And the point he was trying to make to her, she's a Democrat, okay, right now. And he said if you look at this thing that he supports, which is the BDS movement, and this was the boycott, divestment, sanctions, whatever.
He doesn't support that.
That's what I mean. And he's saying, but if you look, he said that the Democrats didn't support it either.
Right.
And she's really, her stand is against 93% of her own party.
Yeah.
So he's saying when it comes to the behavior toward, you know, Jewish people and toward Israel, nobody agrees with you, but about 17% of the people of any party. And now you're going to boycott me because you know, I'm against this. I think what you're doing is ridiculous.
Now let's get the official name so when you hear it in other stories, you can relate to this. Boycott, divestment and sanctions, the BDS movement, which is actually a movement against Israel.
Correct.
Okay,
and he's not for that.
And it was brought up in Congress. The House voted against it 318 to 17. That's 93%. Of the Democratic Party voted against it. Now the squad voted for it. They're part of the 17. Okay, and he's pointing out that your own party don't go along with it. So are you going to boycott them too?
Right. He's saying, how am I being boycotted when like you said, I agree with 93% of the party you're representing. Yeah. Bill Maher is not a conservative, devout
by any stretch.
By any
shows you no.
But he like a lot of just clear thinking people. Said, I'm not going to get involved in some attack on Israel. Yeah. You know, because he's been pretty clear on that as far as on terrorists and stuff like that. But anyway, so
well, you see the divide, and this is the thing we've talked about too, that the Muslim section of the Democratic Party wants to disavow Israel, wants to boycott them, divest our investment in them, and sanction them. Well. That doesn't wash with a lot of Hollywood liberals. So they got a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, they're completely opposed to this, 180 degrees. So I don't know. Strange.
So anyway, so that's our boycott. So now people want to boycott Dancing with the Stars for Sean Spicer, and then they also want you to boycott Bill Maher, I'm sorry, for not going along with a very small group of people who want to attack Israel. I mean, it's just
bizarre.
Jesse, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
I was just wondering if y'all had heard about the incident in Panama City, Florida, the slingshot video.
Yeah.
Yes.
About that one yet?
We saw that footage. Yeah.
What was I saying?
It was a ride.
I was going to ask y'all what your reaction would be. How would you go about your day after you had something like that happen to you?
I can't hear what
I don't know what we don't know what happened, so Speedy can explain it. I think.
Yeah.
Pass the gravy, please. Rick and Bubba. Ooh, it brings me to my knees.
All right, let's go phone calls. 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Got lines available if you want to join us at 866-WE-BE-BIG. Comments, questions, whatever is on your mind, bringing that to the table at 866-WE-BE-BIG. We'd love to chat with you. Also, don't forget the Rick and Bubba store. Be paying attention there. We'll have a big announcement concerning that tomorrow. If you have never shopped at the Rick and Bubba store before, some great Christmas gift ideas for the Rick and Bubba fans on your list. Let's start with Alan out of the Music City. A lot of Nashville checking in today. Alan, go right ahead. Welcome to the program.
Well, thanks. I'm the loser a while ago. I finally got to call back about what I wanted to call for.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
We've all been part of weddings, and we know how much effort it takes to put those on. I had the privilege of officiating my son and daughter-in-law's wedding 5 years ago, coming up this March, and everything's ready. You know, mom of the groom, mom of the bride, all the stuff that goes with that. And they were going to do communion as well. So we're there. I've walked in. We're into the ceremony, and I look down. They don't have the bread or the grape juice on the little table.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going, uh-oh. So I leaned over during they had somebody reading a blessing in part of their ceremony. So I leaned over to one of the groomsmen, and I pointed. He got the message and ran out and got something. We had a Subway roll wrapped in the Subway paper and sweet tea for our communion. Oh, my goodness. And they didn't even take it out of the Subway paper. I had to unwrap it. So it was, and it's all on video, so it's a classic in our life.
I've never heard the phrase, this sweet tea represents the blood of the covenant, which I poured out for you.
Yes, yes.
Oh, my goodness. You know, Alan, do you agree? And I it is beautiful, and I've now have done this 3 times in 3 different weddings that I've officiated. I understand the beauty of it, and I do think it's a wonderful thing. But when you're the one officiating it,
the panic that
there's
sets
a little.
in,
It puts
Rick,
a lot
you're
of.
not kidding.
It's a lot of pressure on you to try to pull that off.
It's enough pressure.
It's the bottom of the ninth in the World Series, bases loaded, and you're down by 2. Man, you are sweating it.
I know it. So true. Well, that's great, Alan. Thanks, man. Appreciate you calling. 866-WE-BE-BIG. Jack and Coleman. Jack, go ahead.
Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba. They're on YouTube. Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba. Come watch the whole crew. Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba. Greg stole my shoes. Rick and Bubba. Rick and Bubba.
All right. Well, there you go. So now keep in mind.
They'll steal them.
Don't y'all think he jotted down some of that?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. 866-WE-BE-BIG. My goodness, speaking of the wedding that I officiated, and they're on their honeymoon.
No.
I think this is the couple calling.
Ooh.
Is this Rye? Rye?
Rye and Natalie here.
This is us.
What in the world are y'all doing calling from your honeymoon?
Well, I, the bride, have a big confession. It's such a beautiful ceremony, and so many little fun things happen. So, yeah, but it was good. My photographer had to quit in the middle of it because her camera broke, and no water that we had for. And we cut into our cake, and it wasn't what we ordered. It was pink instead of white, and so yeah, it was really good. But it was a beautiful day, no matter what. I just wanted to say that I lied to you, Rick. I lied to you. You are my Sunday school teacher, and you and Sherry have been instrumental in being good and leading examples and being godly. And I lied to you on my wedding.
You did?
I did. I lied to you and said that I killed a deer that morning.
That was y'all making me. They were trying, because I made some jokes about they were getting married on opening day.
Right.
So the groom sends me a picture of the bride with a buck and claimed that she went out that morning before the wedding and killed a buck. Now I realize to try to make me feel like I could have done that too. So that wasn't true.
Ooh, that's it.
No, I did kill several bucks in my life, and that was one of my first ones. And So we just couldn't help ourselves because you get everybody, and we wanted to get you.
Well, you did. You absolutely. And I went in there just like you wanted, and I showed Sherry. I said, "Look at this." I said, "Here I am planning for their wedding, and they're out hunting, and I didn't even get a chance to hunt."
I didn't know what she was about to confess.
I know.
to.
That's what I'm saying. That's such a relief.
We all were kind of holding our breath.
I thought to myself, should this be in the meeting in the office?
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I thought she lied when I said I do. I didn't hear that.
Also, Rye and Natalie, I want y'all to know some things, okay? You know, y'all going to come back, you know, from the honeymoon and get back into your normal lives, and there's going to be people saying all kinds of funny things. I mean, they'll
like
be
Rick talked about your wedding.
Yeah,
and
there'll be
stuff,
people saying, you know, ask Rick.
People exaggerate.
Yeah, they'll be ask Rick about. Just don't pay attention to any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, just
about
the
grape juice stain,
right?
and
And, you know, and the fact that that's where y'all live now may have a grape juice stain on the carpet, but you know, things like that. I wouldn't even.
Well, how's it going?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Beautiful place here. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, they just sent me a picture of them drinking coffee, looking out over the mountains, and I tell you what, that's you guys have got a beautiful spot there. So enjoy that.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. Hey, we are. We got 12 days. We might not even get out.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I don't think.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. Well, we're wrapping it up. We'll put it this way: if y'all come back, we don't expect either one of you have gotten any sun. So now well, I mean, now I'm all in. They're married. God is celebrating. So thank you.
Y'all said it best one time. True love waits, and then real love gets after it.
There's a listener to the show. Hey, Rod and Natalie, thank you for allowing me and Sherry and both of us to be part of that. And both of your testimonies are that you guys have impacted a lot of folks. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. And I'm going to get you back. Okay, thanks. There you go.
Bye.
You know, these silly stories people talk about the show.
And they make up stuff. Yeah. You know, I have to deal with it all the time.
All we try to do is...
Did you say...
Yeah, no.
You got a recording?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Do you ever? How about this? Do you ever have people come up and say, "Did you say on the show whatever," and it's something involving them? And because I know some people think this is crazy, but we've been doing this a long time.
Right.
There's times that I legitimately can't remember what we did on the show in great detail.
I don't remember last hour. I really don't.
And have you ever?
I've learned that talent, by the way, to forget it.
Have you ever because they maybe didn't tell it to you as detailed as maybe they needed to, and you do a full blown, no, that didn't happen.
I don't.
And then later in the day, they were talking about.
Oh, I know. And I didn't mean to not remember.
No, right. Well, the way they told it didn't quite prompt it that we remembered it in great detail. But by the way, someone sent me something, and I wonder if you're Baptist, can you even own this product? They said if you need to get stains out involving grapes, that there's a great product called Wine Out. WINEOUT, but can a Baptist even have that problem?
Well, I started to say I don't know. I've never had that problem.
Right, but I mean, if your pastor comes over and sees it, and where you keep all your cleaning stuff, does he go, "Well, why do you need Wine Out?"
It cleans pet stains too.
Well, grape juice, it's the same thing.
It really is. It'll stain too.
Right,
everybody knows.
Well, the whole world knows it.
And every week after the Lord's Supper, I'm always craving Welch's grape juice after that.
Absolutely. Unless, of course, I were to officiate something, because I'll give you a nice, good glass of it.
Right.
Apparently.
And throw it on the floor.
Right. Top of the hour. If you're leaving us, have a great day. If you need to catch some Rick and Bubba content you missed today, catch those archives. Find out the different archive options at rickandbubba.com.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
This is the Rick and Bubba Show. Watch more at blazetv.com/Rick and Bubba.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.